right, let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safeway Liquid Beer Release podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
It's about Static AM Radio.
It's the Cool Ben Red Hot Nielsen Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
Don't be sad that it's over. Be happy that it happened. Or something along those lines is the saying, I think. Yeah. It's one of those moments where the footprints were like by you in the sand, and then there's only one set of footprints because McDavid and Draisaitl didn't show up in Game 7, and they lost. Ouch. Good morning, everyone. What's going on? It's Dustin and Lieutenant Eric with you. It is the Nielsen Show, kicking off another day here in Edmonton Sports Talk. Today's show could have been so much different. It could have been so much different. We're here to talk you through it this morning. As I told 9-year-old Marshall, who was in tears for the final 5 minutes of the game. Tough one for him. He started to tear up a little bit with about 8 minutes left. He's like, they're not getting any chance. He was very sad. As I told him, you know who lost in the Stanley Cup final last year? He goes, Florida Panthers. I said, and who won this year? He goes, Florida. And I said, listen, son, even the great Oilers teams of the 80s said they had to learn how to lose before they won. And I think that example could be held once again.
Not a conference final.
Yeah.
Not a round two. It's the final. Learning to lose the final.
I thought the Oil might have skipped over it. You know, with the way they played the last 3 games,
there, yeah.
I thought maybe they learned how to lose in the first 3 games of the Stanley Cup final, and then were just so good that they didn't have to lose that 4th game to learn how to lose, but they ended up losing the 4th game.
You got to lose you got to take the 4th. You got to lose the 4th in order to get through it.
Sorry, Edmonton.
We've been here before. We've been on this, but to go to why not just drop it in 4 or 5, right? Why take it all the way to 7? It's the belief that gets you in the end, right? It's that.
I am going to be guy who's probably way too positive for. Well, you know what? Talking about the game last night, I got some hot takes that will fire away here. But you have to remember, like this is a really good hockey team with the best player in the world. Won a Conn Smythe, even though they didn't win it. And that being said, we'll have that discussion here at some point as we work our way through the show today. They will be back in this spot. Okay, they will be back in this. Look at Vegas. Vegas made a Stanley Cup final, didn't win it, managed to get back there within a few years, won the Stanley Cup. Florida made a Stanley Cup final, didn't win it, managed to get back the very following season and win a Stanley Cup. The Edmonton Oilers are going to win a Stanley Cup in the next 3 years. They are. They just didn't win it this year. And it was tough to see. It was a tough pill for many of you to swallow last night. We're here to talk through it today. We're here to try to cheer you up a little bit as well. It's not going to be like the weather. It's not going to be all doom and gloom today. This was the perfect weather. Even Mother Nature's like, I got you. I got you. Let's just have a torrential downpour this morning.
Yeah.
Because of the mood of the city.
And come into the bosom. We will take you in this
we got
morning.
You.
And
you can suckle.
This is what we do.
You can suckle off our teats this morning as we turn you back. And you know what the positive thing here is? A week from now, you'll be bitching about free agency. So that's always fun, right? You get to turn things around.
There are so many storylines leading up to that 7th game that we're on here, yes. Everybody got a little too ahead because of everything shaping up. I said it would be so NHL if the Panthers go on and do it. They go on and do it. Nobody cares. I mean, the rink is 80% empty.
Yeah.
After Barkov's handed the cup off, everybody's already left. But this is the start. They have the cameras rolling. They have the documentary going. This is just episode 1 in the redemption tour. Now you mentioned this,
I already said it.
This isn't the end. This isn't the end of a line. The end of an era. The end. Oh, now they're going to all go their own way, and nobody knows. And I mean, we'll get to the post game. We'll get to everything. And we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves. But everything is. This is just the mission is still on. It's not abort mission. This is just another step. Learning to lose the conference final. That happened. You're in the cup final. You make it interesting. You get everybody reeled in with the belief. But this doesn't end here. It doesn't stop here. Could argue just getting started, in a sense.
Again, I already told you this morning before the show. 24-25 Edmonton Oilers. Unfinished business. It's
too easy.
It's already scripting itself here.
And who else now? Who else stands in their way? You had Vegas get theirs. You had Colorado get. Florida now has gotten theirs. I mean, the Rangers now again? We got to.
Well, Carolina, obviously. I mean, Carolina next year will be really good and then suck in the playoffs. But
now Edmonton has that longer in the tooth experience and the storyline to get over the hump. Now they put them. You had the metric. They've lost to the Cup winner. How many years now? 3
in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost to Colorado, went on to win the Cup. They lost to Vegas, went on to win the Cup. Lost to Florida, won the Cup.
They've taken their number. They've been waiting in line patiently. It will be their turn.
This is it sucks. I know. Look, man, I wanted to bring in Marshall's replica Stanley Cup that we got at Pro-Am Sports and be drinking birdie booze out of it this morning, just as much as anybody else. But
I drank a lot last night in hopes that that's what we'd be doing.
Yeah, that's smart thinking. That's smart thinking
for
too.
coffee.
How'd you get through it last night? How you feeling this morning? We're here for you. If you want to vent, vent. We'll read your text messages. We'll get into it. I thought they were going to win. I am still sitting here genuinely surprised this morning that we are talking about
We all
a loss.
did. I think the Panthers maybe even thought they were going to win.
Yeah.
The way everything was shaping up.
And they could have won last night. I don't want to sit here this morning and say they totally deserved to win last night because I don't think they did. But they didn't play a bad hockey game. I'm not going to roll out a bunch of sports logic stats to try to justify their existence in the game. But Florida, to watching the game last night, it just looked like Florida wanted it more. Those guys were, when the Oilers had some mad scrambles in the third period, Florida was sacrificing every piece of their body to get in front of those pucks. A
millisecond of time with the puck before a Panthers on you.
I don't even think we've said it yet since we started the show a few minutes ago, but congratulations to the Florida Panthers on winning the Stanley Cup. Hell of a hockey team. And you had to be a hell of a hockey team to stop the bleeding in Game 7 and shut down a generational talent in Connor McDavid. And that's what they did. Like, the Oilers last night didn't lose because their bottom six didn't produce. They didn't lose because Stuart Skinner got lit up. They lost because the big guys, Hyman, Nuge, Draisaitl, McDavid, Bouchard, a team that for the longest time has been built on offense, couldn't generate any last night. Some of that would be on them. Some of it you just have to give credit to the Florida Panthers for playing a pretty darn good hockey game last night. So
Steve Kazari enters the chat in the nasty chat, JCD780. We mentioned the referees prior to the game in the Orange and Blue Breakfast. We're not going to go there. Hey,
as Marshall Bokeith yelled a few times last night, the referees suck. And then he apologized immediately for using the word suck because it's not a word that our kids are really allowed to use. He's like, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said suck. I said, tonight, buddy, it's okay.
Yeah, let him fly.
You could even say the suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked if you wanted. That game was not determined by officiating, but the whistles went away. I mean, even the power play the Oilers got was an awful call. Like, Kachuk fell. He was sliding. It should have never been a penalty. Like, the officials they had no clue last night. I mean, but that's not why. Like, this game was not determined on special teams.
You can't hang your hat, though, on that being a saving grace for you if and when the officials don't show up and do their job.
I would look at the moment when the Oilers are on the power play, though, and one of the Panthers ends up losing his stick. And they've got a 5-on-3.5
or whatever. Yeah.
They got a 5-on-3.5 and couldn't bury.
Yeah.
They got Draisaitl set up for one timer, and he couldn't finish it.
A 2-1 final, right? The 2-1 games.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like,
yeah.
All right, 780-218-9999. Look at this. If we're looking for positives today, Mr. Thermistor over on the Nasty Chat. Sidney Crosby lost his first final.
Oh, yeah.
See?
The Islanders of the 80s.
See?
Let's go.
There's lots of these situations that you can look at. All right? Not everybody can be Patrick Waugh. Win your first final, lose one, win another one. Sidney Crosby, Wayne Gretzky, these guys suffered defeats along the way. The Oilers are going to win a cup in the next 3 years. I know you wanted it last night. I get it. Everybody wanted it last night. But they'll get one. They'll get one with those two guys. 780-218-9999. The Nielsen Show today and every day presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet. It's been closer than you think since 1983. Short drive to Fort Sask is worth it to find the best deal at the best price. Your go-to dealership for Silverado 1500s and heavy duties. 0% financing available on select models. See the dealer for details. And how about this? This is awesome. If you go see Daniel, so roll on into South Fort Chev. Check out all the Nerf guns that they've got there. Hop on their social media because they're churning out great social media content.
The admin.
But go see Daniel and his team at South Fort Chev and tell him Dusty sent you or Tommy sent you or Lieutenant Eric sent you, whoever. And not only will they take good care of you, but they're going to give you 15% off of accessories for your new ride. 15%, that's where it adds up, right? You buy a vehicle and then every day you're like, do you want tires on this vehicle?
Get
You're
a
like,
cool
what?
wing.
This is unbelievable. Yeah.
On the back, eh?
I would suggest you put a spoiler on a pickup truck.
Sure, yeah.
15% off.
You're calling the shots.
The running boards, the boards that help shorter people step up into a truck. 15% off. All right, so if you're in the market for a new truck or a new vehicle, go see Daniel and his team at South Fort Chevrolet. Tell them that we sent you, and they'll give you 15% off all the accessories on your vehicle. All right, that's pretty cool. South Fort Chevrolet. Check them out, 10109 89th Ave, or visit their website, www.southfortchev.com. Jeff is in and says, who is on this team in 3 years? Jeff, you know what? I'll tell you right now who's on this team in 3 years. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. I mean, if anything, they see last night as, for them, unfinished business. You think Connor McDavid is ever going to leave the Edmonton Oilers having no Stanley Cups and a Conn Smythe and a losing effort? I beg to differ. They've turned the franchise over to the guy who was his agent. Connor McDavid's not going anywhere.
Yeah, man.
And what's Leon Draisaitl going to do? Go sign in San Jose and suck for 10 years? That's not going to happen. They'll find a way. They'll find a way to make it happen. Those guys are not going anywhere. If they end up leaving, we can come back to this show and be like, Dusty, you're such an idiot. You're such a loser. But I don't believe those guys are leaving. I don't think they're leaving.
Cupless in the Holland era. As that comes to a close.
That's the official, yeah. Fair enough.
So
got close. Like they were a bounce or two away from winning the Stanley Cup last night. Yeah. They didn't get run out of the building. They hit a post. They had a couple of mad scrambles. We'll talk about the different moments in this hockey game. I asked the question last night on Twitter. We're going to dive into as we work our way through the show today. What was the moment when last night you're just like, it's not happening tonight? When did you know? Some of you might say, not until that puck ended up in the corner with 10 seconds left. There might be other ones that you could look at as well last night. Like the second goal, when they almost scored. Like it was this close to going in, and Kulikov, a former Oiler, if you can believe it, knocks it away into the corner. They grab it, play it up the wing, walk in and score. You're like, this is not meant to be.
That was a
like,
sequence.
It's not meant to be.
Yeah. Bouchard, I think, went off the iron
there.
So I mean, it's a game played on ice.
They were close.
Little knives on your shoes and a piece of rubber.
They were this close to winning the Stanley Cup. Just wasn't meant to be last night.
Mr. Thermistor also asking when do injuries get announced, which I'm pretty interested in as well.
Tommy Gazzola,
you've got to think that there's.
Well, Tommy Gazzola on the post-game show last night said he would expect some sort of announcement on a surgery for Connor McDavid. So think about how well McDavid played, and he still had something going on that requires surgery.
I think you said training camp in what, a month,
2.5 months till training camp. There has to be some sort of significant injury announcement for Leon Draisaitl. I refuse to believe otherwise. Because if there isn't,
then there's bigger problems here.
Then he cost them. He's one of the main reasons they didn't win the Stanley Cup. I mean, he just didn't have it in this series. And I believe it was Drags last week on the show saying he knows what Draisaitl's dealing with, and it sucks. So we'll see what comes out there. But
what did the Panthers have to deal with last Stanley Cup final?
Major injuries. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it all comes together.
Sucks to hear today, but that's.
You can text us anytime in the Paris Jewelers inbox. You know how you cheer yourself up today? You get engaged to the one you love. There's nothing more memorable than, hey, when did you guys get engaged? Oh, well, we were miserable the day after the Edmonton Oilers lost the Stanley Cup in Game 7 in 2024.
It's not like proposing in a field of horse shit like I did.
No,
it's
exactly.
Kind of the same.
Yeah.
But it's got a story to it. Like,
same type of feel.
Yeah.
Same smell, probably.
Yeah.
www.parisjewelers.com. Or check out any of their 22 locations in 4 provinces across this country. Text of the day today, and there's going to be, let's pick me up text. There's got to be a good text out there today that wants that A&W gift certificate. Juicy Mamas extended in until mid-July. 2 Mama Burgers for $9.99 at participating A&Ws. Most A&W drive-thrus are open 24 hours a day. Let's lay out the show for you. We'll get into your morning announcements. We're going to get to That Hurts as we work our way through the show as well. Reg Dunlop says, if 29 has a bad back, tough decision to sign him. No, there's no decision on signing Leon Draisaitl. There's a difference between having like maybe some possible back spasms in the playoffs and having a bad back in general. But, we'll wait till the injury news comes out, and it will. Maybe later today, maybe tomorrow, but we'll figure out exactly who was banged up, who wasn't. You know who wasn't banged up? Matthias Janmark. Hell of a Stanley Cup final for Matthias Janmark.
And we were this close to naming babies Janmark.
Oh, congratulations to Matthias Janmark on a hell of a Stanley Cup final.
Take that, Gazzola. Like the long season play. Really,
Gazzola in the end wins. I'm not even going to sit here and beg you for your likes today. Let's just get them out of respect for Edmonton sports talk, right? If you're watching on YouTube this morning, hammer the thumbs up. We would love to have it as well. Huge numbers for pre and post game last night. Obviously, you've bought into what we're building here at EST, and I'll tell you right now, by this time next year, things will be a lot bigger and a lot better, which is exciting in itself. We'll have your morning after show for EM Utility Locating coming up just after 6:30 today. Every single hockey insider in the world is traveling this morning. So we're not going to have a Hockey Insider just after 7 o'clock for Pro-Am Sports, but we are going to take a deeper dive into the hockey game there as well. More time for your text messages. The $100,000 Golf Town Hole-in-One will announce another winner, give you another qualifying word in hour number 2. The Cool Bet Hotline of the day coming up as well. Weekly confessions. Oh, there's got to be some confessions coming out of last night.
Be honest.
And the cup run. Like, there's got to be some good confessions today. Just after 7:30, we'll get to those. We do have tickets for the Holinka. We'll get to that. Holinka Gretzky Cup. That's coming to town in August. We've got a 7-game pack of tickets that we'll give away around 7:45. We'll dive into the fan zone for fans first, one last time. Kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many. Gager will be by around 8:30, also for Pro-Am Sports. So we'll break things down with Joaquin Gage when he joins us, and then the wrap for William Huff as we work our way through the show today. We could try to, there's a couple of ways you go here. We could try to cheer you up with like a trip down memory lane today, but I know you're not ready for that. But you know what we'll do tomorrow? We'll definitely take a look at like the top 5 playoff songs that we had and, remember the good times. It was a hell of a run. In the end, it was an absolute miraculous 2.5 months.
Mountains of
for
content.
the Edmonton Oilers.
Mountains of content.
That just ended up coming short in the end. Let's get to your morning announcements for 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock.
JJ Redick, eh?
JJ Redick, head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. That was announced yesterday. Connor McDavid does win the Conn Smythe in a losing effort. And after Game 5, I was in the group saying, I mean, even if they lose, he's going to win the Conn Smythe
After
trophy.
Game 5. Yeah.
After Game 5. But after Game 6 and 7 being held pointless, I was a little surprised that they still went with him. I think the media, the voting members of the media who do have a vote on the Conn Smythe might have already sort of had that determined. Because in games 5 and 6, he didn't necessarily move the needle that much.
Well, 6 and 7 pointless. And
sorry, did I say 5 and 6? 6 and 7.
And I mean, if you had maybe 3 or a pair or something like that in a losing cause, you'd still continue. But to be held pointless and then end up losing the series, albeit a valiant comeback, it left me lacking a bit.
Yeah, they could have gone Bobrovsky.
Maybe in Barkov too.
Without Bobrovsky, the Oilers probably win this series because he was so good early in the series. And he was good last night, like that Bouchard one-timer that he came across on. That was good. Some of that one mad scramble where he was laid out in the crease. I thought that was going in the back of the net for sure. So he could have gone that way. I mean, the fact Barkov outplayed McDavid the last two games of the series.
He wins the cup.
He could have got it. It could have gone to Bobrovsky or Barkov. Connor McDavid, don't get me wrong, had an amazing playoff. I just thought those voting may have changed their opinion after him being held pointless in Game 6 and Game 7. He didn't even go out to accept the trophy, nor should he have in that situation. That's the Panthers moment. Like,
yeah, it's a weird.
Can you imagine if they announce Connor McDavid wins the Conn Smythe and he comes out and he picks it up? He's like, yeah, and he like kisses it and he skates off the ice. Yeah. He's all fired. That would have been the strangest thing in sports history.
Instead, we had to see those old pictures of a Jaguar back when. I mean,
with that's like cheating equipment.
Terrible stuff. His dad was pumped, though.
I saw his dad was just like, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Whatever, you take the wins.
His son just became only the second skater ever to win the Conn Smythe in a losing
It looked
effort.
good when it's added next to a Stanley Cup win in, as you mentioned, the next 3 years.
Yeah. You know, in the end, he could end up with more Conn Smythes than Stanley Cups. Who's ever done that before?
I think we call it the McDavid stat now.
It's pretty impressive in the end, I do think.
First ever text, unsigned. Hey, boys, it's all about the positive. Skinner took a step. Full year of Broberg coming up.
Yeah.
Campbell buyout.
Dylan Holloway.
CC upgrade. Holloway and McLeod will take another step. Janmark and Brown are back. That's 6 right there.
Maybe even healthy Evander Kane next year. Or they move Evander Kane.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they won 3 games in the Stanley Cup final without Evander Kane. With that being said, a healthy Evander Kane could have ended up being a difference maker here. I know people already are looking at cap space. I get it. Guess what? After today, the transition will begin.
We got to be ready.
Free agent draft. They have a second-round pick.
Baby.
And then free agency next week. Remaking of the roster. Right now, they've got somewhere between 10 and 11 million in cap space. Can they do something with the Jack Campbell contract? Could they move Evander Kane to free that up a little bit and try to go with a cheaper option there as well? There are ways to get some more money here for the Edmonton Oilers, and you have to think that Jeff Jackson has been contemplating those for the last 3 months. So I think they're going to roll out a pretty good roster next year. I think they're going to win the division in the regular season next year. And I think they'll probably be picked by most people to win the Stanley Cup next year. So I know today sucks the big one so hard for many of you, but think about all the other off seasons that we've been doing this show for the last 15 years. Like, this one's way better. This is way better.
And I'll hit you with this too. They probably won't start next season the way they started this.
No,
this
that's
was
the
an
thing,
aberration. So, and follow me here. Stay with me here. You start good. You continue to have a good season. Then you get that hope. If Game 7 of this Stanley Cup final is here in Edmonton last night, in a 2-1 final and a 2-1 result, like, how do you think that's going? If that's here last night.
Do you think they win last night if they had?
I'm just saying it's 2-1.
Well, like I said, I think they win the division next year, and
all of those things matter. And I mean, if you had home ice advantage for this, I'm just saying, like, you saw the fortress that Ice District became as we chugged along in this run here.
That game at home last night, they win the Stanley Cup.
You kidding me? Right?
Yeah. No, it's true.
And now again, other things could whatever. You don't lead there, but
like with this group, they haven't done that yet. They haven't won the division.
But this whole year, they had to have been. Like, they haven't been able to take it out of second gear. They've always had to be kind of pushing, coming from behind. So, yeah, who's to say next year if things set up a little differently, the home ice. But it's just those details, right, that can kind of define a champion or not.
Victorious Vic to the Paris Jewelers inbox this morning. Morning, boys. Can I get a conch for all the troopers who actually went to work today? I woke up hammered, and there was no way I could pull it off today. Yeah, conts to everybody
Yeah.
who got up and grinded it out. YouTube Trev yesterday, before he left, he goes, hey Dusty, I win or lose tonight, I'm probably going out and just tying one on tonight. He goes, is it okay if I come in a little bit late tomorrow? And I said, what are you talking, like late, like 1 o'clock? Like, he goes, oh, like 11. I was like, sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
Still get the breakfast special.
Yeah. With that being said, HR Daddy will dock his pay by a couple of hours. Like he's an absolute killer, that guy.
Well.
No, he won't. That won't happen. All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. This is good. Look at this. This is a first-time texter listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at edmontonsportstalk.com. Guys, honest question. I don't understand all the hockey rules, but is it normal to allow players to hold the puck against the boards with their skates indefinitely? I thought they used to call that as the delay pretty quickly, but I'm only a part-time hockey fan. Thanks. Yeah, you wouldn't be called the delay, but you get the whistle and a face-off. There was a one last night where Nurse kind of had his stick jammed in there, and the guy was just sitting on it. I was like, either push him out of the way or blow the bloody whistle.
In soccer, they feign injury. Same type of thing.
Oh, that's a good one.
Time wasting, right?
Yeah, that's a good one as well. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Department of Nuge Defense says, what a run in this Stanley Cup final. It proves the margin is razor thin. A few small misplays. I won't call them mistakes. And Ekholm is a liar. The sun did not come up today. He's right. It's very cloudy and rainy. The sun has not come up today in Edmonton, which is
It will for Trev, though, later at 11, maybe.
By the
Clear
time
skies.
Trev's
like,
awake,
yeah. He'll be all good.
Well, all of that grade 3 at Marshall School today gets to walk to the corner store to get a Slurpee. He's never walked to the corner store before to get a Slurpee, so he's fired up.
Good. Well,
but if it's raining on his Slurpee walk this afternoon, that just piles on to the disappointment that he had last night. That kid can't take it. He couldn't take it. He would probably collapse on the side of the sidewalk walking there if it starts raining today. So hopefully it's a little bit brighter this afternoon. All right. I still want to get to That Hurts. We'll go there as we work our way through the 6 o'clock hour. We'll get to McDavid's post game coming up here in the 6 o'clock hour as well. If you're watching over on YouTube today, we appreciate the support. We got you. We're going to work through this with you. And then you know what? We're going to have an amazing offseason here at Edmonton Sports Talk. We're not going anywhere, obviously. We'll be running the same shows through the same days, except we're probably going to end up having a little bit more fun. We'll have a few drafts coming up in the summer. That should be good. Who knows? Maybe there's a bracket in our future. We've got some big announcements coming up in the summer. We got the Golf Classic. We got the Nasty Bash. Lots going on here with Edmonton Sports Talk and the Nielsen Show. Nielsen Show, of course, presented by Southfort Chevrolet. Check them out, www.southfortchev.com. Yeah, if you're watching over on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up today. We would appreciate that. And if you're not yet subbed to the channel and you're looking for that good Oilers and sports content in the summer, we got you covered over there as well. The morning after show following a Game 7 Stanley Cup final loss is on the way after a sports update with Lieutenant Eric.
The Oilers coming up just short in their Stanley Cup comeback as the Panthers take Game 7 by a score of 2-1 down in Florida. Matthias Janmark, the lone goal for the Oilers as Carter Verhaeghe opened the scoring, while Sam Reinhart's second period marker would stand as the winner. Connor McDavid named the winner of the Conn Smythe. He becomes just the 6th player to win it after losing the Stanley Cup. The NHL draft will begin Friday from Vegas. The Oilers currently holding the 64th overall pick. Also last night, the Bruins trading Linus Ullmark to the Senators in exchange for the Sens' 2024 first forward Mark Kastelich and goaltender Jonas Korpisalo. The Riverhawks are back home to start a 3-game set with the Bellingham Bells tonight from Remax Field. It's a game you can catch live on Edmonton Sports Talk. Our coverage starts at 7:05. Hawks have won 4 in a row and sit half a game back of the Apple Sox for top spot in the North Division. Prospects are back home to host Weyburn tonight from Centennial Park Field 9 out in Sherwood Park. Jays dropped the opener to the Red Sox down in Boston 7-6. Game 2 will go later tonight as the Jays look to avoid their 8th straight loss. On the pitch, Canada continue group stage play this evening out in Kansas City against Peru in the Copa America. Canada dropping its opener to Argentina 2-0 on Sunday. The other group game will feature Chile taking on Argentina at 7. 2024 UEFA Euros jam-packed schedule. Action starts at 10 this morning as France take on Poland. Netherlands will face Austria. Later this afternoon at 1, Denmark take on Serbia, while England battle Slovenia.
a fan of the Oilers today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to have your say? It's the morning after show where we will talk about the game and let you know who you should blame. You want a show where you will know if the problems are still the same. You want a show every morning after the game. You want a show so people know if the problems are still the same. You want a show every morning after the game.
Alrighty, it is the Nielsen Show. What's going on in the nasty chat right now?
I don't know. Somebody.
I don't know. I don't know. See Alfredo or whoever they're talking about. Anyway,
Alfredo. Who's Alfredo?
I don't know. I see people calling for him to be blocked. Zacticum will look into it if it requires a blocking or a 24-hour suspension. He will take care of it. We're gonna hear what the captain had to say. Connor McDavid. We thought we liked his post game last night. I mean.
And you could
chalk
that up on another thing is I think the growth from this core and this leadership group. Again, things maybe people don't want to hear this morning, but it's all about looking forward now.
Last night it was Carter Verhaeghe in the first period. Nice little redirect. No chance for Skidder on that one. Verhaeghe's 11th of the postseason puts the Florida Panthers on top 1-0. And then Matthias Janmark on just a filthy sauce from Ceci. My goodness, what a pass by Cody Ceci to send Matthias Janmark in. He gets his 4th of the playoffs, ties it again, and that kind of eliminated the, score first. When the other team answers right back, it's back to square one for me.
Especially at that stage of the game, too, and I think Florida needed that first goal more so than the Oilers did. I think if the Oilers, we saw the anthems, Alanis there, the crowd taking "O Canada" away from her, that type of thing. It had a good feeling down there, I think, from an Oilers point of view, and certainly in all the nasties in attendance. But Florida scores. I turn to my wife. I say, got them right where they want them. This Oilers team can come back. If Edmonton would have scored that first one, I think it would probably a lot tougher for maybe Florida to get back in the game. But then scoring the Reinhart one when it happened, that latter stages.
After the Oilers had almost scored, then
you're getting
tough.
into that territory, but... No, but what a pass, CC Janmark.
That pass, that's a beautiful pass from CC to Matthias Janmark.
There was a moment.
There was a moment where Janmark was flying around the offensive zone. Marshall's watching the game. He goes, McDavid! And I was just like, no, that's actually Matthias Janmark circling around the offensive zone. What a playoff. Probably got himself a job here next year, I would think, at a reasonable rate. They're going to have a bunch of guys like Janmark and Brown sign on reasonable rates to stick around, but I think you probably want those two guys back. All right, let's get into the morning after show for EM Utility Locating. Call 780-222-9497. Check them out online, www.emutilitylocating.com. GPR and concrete scanning, damage prevention, planning, design, education, and training. To Matt and his team over at EM Utility Locating, thank you very much for hopping on board here in year one of EST with the morning after show. I do think it was a perfect fit, and I'd love to have you back for next season as well, and may require your services at some point this summer. We went and picked up that desk. Remember I told you picked up that desk for Marshall?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Anyway, the house we went to had a basketball hoop that was cemented into the ground by their driveway. And I saw it. I was like, that's it. That's what I want. And as
you
as
ripped
we were
it up
leaving,
and took it as well, eh?
I stopped Tam. I said, see? This is it. She goes, actually, that's not bad. So, you just need to, I'll have EM come over, make sure we're not digging into any power cables. And then you dig a hole, you drop the pole in, and then you fill it with like cement or something, and then it just stays upright forever. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool setup. So anyway, I'll be using EM Utility Locating for that. Big moment that happened in last night's hockey game, buddy.
Well, the sequence, I think, is whenever you're talking about a 2-1 Game 7, margins are tight. I'll say that sequence of the Oilers going down, having that great chance, Panthers going back the other way, putting it in. And, as I said, kind of at that point with Reinhart getting that goal, time's ticking down in the second. Florida, we all heard the metrics heading into the third about them, and that's but at the same time,
I still thought the Oilers could come back
because that's how everything's been setting up, right? Even in the final, until the puck went into their zone and was getting tied up near the boards, you're like, wow, you're just waiting for them to come back because that's how it's been continuously happening this season. but albeit the luck just running out there near the end. So I'm going to go with that sequence. I mean, obviously you can draw from a few instances where Bobrovsky, and I can't recall when that mad scramble in front was, but you thought for sure
At
that
some point,
somehow that puck would have found its
late
way in.
Third period, like
I don't. So that's and again we're talking bounces and the way things go, and it just in
That
those
was,
instances it wasn't going in. So
that moment there, that was probably the moment when
you never.
as far as big moments that happen, that might be the one. Like that was. I came up off the couch at that moment. I was standing right next to the TV because I was like, "Oh, they're banging this in."
Somehow it's getting.
I was just waiting to see the puck trickle across the goal line, and it never trickled across the goal line. I was like, "Where is it? How did that not get buried?" So yeah, that was frustrating, I think, for Oilers fans, and could certainly be the EST big moment that happened. Super stat of the night. What are you going with, Rick?
I mean, in a losing cause in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup, a lot of not so super stats, and I guess you can point to these zeros for the big guns. And I know Joaquin Gage was peppered hard in our chat and talking about where are the big dogs, and the big dogs showed up for Florida last night. But I'm going to go with 958, Mr. Sergei Bobrovsky again.
Yeah.
He was a question mark heading into this one, and rightfully so, given his performance over the past 3 games. Now 24 shots, maybe you can argue not tested as to the might that this Oilers offense can give you at times, but 958 in a Game 7, I think you take it. And not to say that Skinner, I mean, this isn't a shot at him either, but the Panthers got their Bob last night, Bob back from the first 3 games. So I'll kind of have to go with the save percentage in a tight 2-1 game.
You know what? The blocked shots in last night's hockey game were only 17-13 in favor of Florida, but I am going to go to that 17 blocked shots by the Panthers as my super stat of the night because I thought there were some big ones in there.
Yep.
Like when there were some scrambles, when the Oilers actually got some sustained pressure, it was full-blown sellout, buy-in, whatever you want to call it, from the Panthers to get in front of those bloody pucks.
A few painful ones.
And I thought they did. I thought they did a really good job on that front individually for some of the Florida Panthers last night. I mean, Verhaeghe goes 1-1 in over 19 minutes, finished a +2 in the hockey game last night. But the Bobrovsky 958 certainly stands out. The 3 stars from last night's hockey game, if you ever really want to remember the 3 stars from a losing effort in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, Bobrovsky was the first star of the game. Reinhart was the second star, and Verhaeghe was the third star. Who is your 4th star of the hockey game last night?
As you say, it's just one of those things you throw away here.
I think, if we're looking from a Panthers, I think you could go Barkov as the 4th star.
You could go Barkov. I'll give it Janmark.
I like that.
I always like
that.
to try to give the 4th win or lose to an Oiler, but Janmark was there. Look, we had a texter just chime in as well. Are we going to pretend like Skinner didn't let in a muffin? Janmark did score the only goal.
Look,
these things can go both ways. Like,
but first of all,
are we going to run out of? Are we going to run the Stars out of town because they didn't show up on the score sheet last night?
do you want Skinner to stop that puck? 100% you want Skinner to stop that puck. But I don't know what the hell Kulak was doing on that play. Like, how is Reinhart able to walk in and shoot from? I mean, let's be honest. Reinhart had, combined with the playoffs, like over 65 goals. I mean, if there's one guy on the team that's going to put one by you, it's probably that guy. But yeah, you'd like to have Skinner stop that one, but don't dare for a second try to hang this loss on Stuart Skinner.
Not when you scored a goal.
That is an all-time bad take.
From Matthias Janmark.
It just is. Matthias Janmark provided the only offense you had last night. Nothing about last night's game gets hung on Stuart Skinner. It doesn't. I thought he made some great saves.
If you're offered that the Oilers let in 2 goals, regardless of the result, before puck drop, you're probably taking it.
Like, yeah,
with the assumption that the Oilers are going to outscore 2 goals.
If you would have told the thousands and thousands of Oilers fans who paid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that, hey, the Panthers are going to score 2 goals tonight, we know that. Will you take that? They probably would have said, hell yeah, we'll take that because the Oilers are going to score 3 or 4. They didn't last night. It's as simple as that. 38th star of the hockey game last night. I know he's banged up, but Leon Draisaitl did not have a shot on goal last night in over 22 minutes. And
that's a difference maker right there.
That's if Leon Draisaitl, playing through whatever the hell he was playing through, but if he was able to score a goal or 2 in the Stanley Cup Final, the Edmonton Oilers probably win the Stanley Cup. physically it wasn't able to be there for him, or however you want to sort that out. We're going to hear his post game coming up just after 7 o'clock. But Draisaitl going -1 with no shots on goal last night. That's a tough pill to swallow in that game for Leon Draisaitl. I would have never thought in a Game 7 I'd be sitting here going zeros across the board for Draisaitl and -1 in Game 7 winner-take-all Stanley Cup final. But here we are. So that'll be your 38th star of the game. The Steady Eddy of the evening last night for the Edmonton Oilers. I think I'm going to just come back around to Matthias Janmark again. Hell of a final for Matthias Janmark. Like, he was,
and not just
he was
like
outstanding.
Popping up and getting a goal, but the work, the penalty kill, the depth, the. I mean, again, you go back to the conference finals and you chuck up the depth debate. Yeah, they took this thing and ran with it, and he was part of that. He was part of that bottom six core, that PK core. Good to see him get rewarded with that goal too, but ultimately in a losing cost. But buzzing around out there, flying.
All right, if you're watching over on YouTube this morning, hammer the thumbs up for us. Let's change 200 at least by 7 o'clock this morning with all the good memories that were made during this Stanley Cup final push. Morning after show, obviously brought to you by EM Utility, locating here on the Nielsen Show, that is presented by South Fort Chevrolet. Go see Daniel and his team at South Fort Chev. Tell them that I sent you, and they'll take good care of you and also give you 15% off of accessories for your new ride. So save a few bucks down at South Fort Chevrolet. All right. Let's go, Connor McDavid, captain of your Edmonton Oilers, waited on the ice till all of his teammates came off. He has developed into, I think, a very, very good captain for this team. And I do think that he will deliver a Stanley Cup to this market. I do. Just wasn't meant to be last night. Here's Connor McDavid after the loss.
You knew it was going to be tight, Game 7 for the Cup. You knew it was going to be a real tight game, and it was going to come down to one thing here and there. And we're an inch away from going ahead 2-1 right before they go ahead 2-1, and it's tough. They do a good job of shutting things down, and we had our looks, just didn't find it.
This group has been through so much. What will you remember about this group and this ride?
Yeah, it's just the resilience of the group. Yeah, as you said, we went through a lot. Ups and downs, and came that close. Yeah.
How proud are you of that?
Yeah, really proud. Proud of the way we fought all year. We were behind the 8 ball almost immediately, and we fought an uphill climb for months and months and months, and just sucks.
To come back from 3-0 to get to this point, is there any kind of, not solace, but do you take a lot of pride in being able to make this a series when it looked like you guys were down and out?
Yeah. Goes back to the character of the group that we showed all year long. We showed all year long that we could fight back, even in the most dire situations. And obviously tough to be down 3, and tough to string 4 in a row against a good team like that. But we were right there.
Connor, your thoughts on winning Conn Smythe?
Obviously, I guess an honor with the names on that trophy, but yeah.
Connor, you had so many good chances there, yourself and Zach. Were you thinking, okay, we've come back so many other games, we're going to get that one late?
We thought, we never stopped believing. We really believed. We really believed we were going to get one, and have that one in front. Zach has a whack at it. Bush has got all kinds of looks. We had lots of looks, just didn't go.
That high tip, you were in the slot, you kind of had just a little bit too much, because it seemed like a set play that you guys came very close on over to the reaction.
There's not much. There's not really many set plays 30 seconds into your shift, but yeah, there was just an opening, and Bush saw me coming from the corner. I just tried to get there, and he makes a great play, and I'm just getting a stick on it and hoping for the best, and obviously it goes a little high.
What can you say about the support that you had back home, back in Edmonton throughout this ride?
Yeah, our fans are the best, and they deserve to win just as much as any of us do. They were with us the whole way, and never stopped believing, and disappointing we couldn't come through.
What's the most devastating event?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, because you came so close, it wasn't like they jumped on you early and then you just couldn't catch up.
I thought they had they had a great first period. They came out flying, and we did a good job of surviving. And coming out of that period tied was a win for us. And then I thought for 40 minutes, we played well. I thought for 40 minutes we had lots of looks. Maybe if we could find a way to score on that power play, the game's different. We have the looks that we want. It just doesn't go. I wish I had a better explanation for you.
We always hear that this is the toughest trophy to win, and even to get to a final like this, Connor. Did this sort of run and this experience make that real? Just how tough this is, and in words, how hard it is to get to where you guys got to.
Well, yeah, it's difficult. You got to go through a grueling season. It's long. You got to go through 4 high-end opponents, and you got to beat them 4 times. I mean, it's as difficult to do as you can think. Like it's.
All right, there you go. That is Connor McDavid, Conn Smythe winner, in which he was like, ugh. I thought he made a good point saying there's a lot of great names on that trophy. His name's on the trophy too. I thought in the Nasty Chat, somebody made a really good point that they were probably announcing the Conn Smythe win while he was talking to his teammates about how they're going to win the Stanley Cup next year. As far as the whole documentary thing,
you
like
think
that
they'd
would
have
be
that
the
planned
ultimate,
better.
like
but
June 24th, 2024. It's like McDavid and the Conn Smythe.
I'd like to announce the Conn Smythe. He led the playoffs in points,
and
like
then
that
they cut
in the
inside the room, and he's sitting there.
Give us that
and he
scene.
stands up and he says to the guys, like, it's just from a fairy tale perspective. And we're already looking at next year as like
how could you not?
Unfinished business.
How could you not?
It would. I think they're going to be a really, really good hockey team.
What did Maurice
year.
say? They've been playing for 200 straight games, right? He used last season as a part of this season as well to kind of complete this. This is almost like a halftime in a sense.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Well, really, like
Maurice had a really good post game last night. We're not going to play it and break it down today, but
I mean, again, these are things that once the dust is settled, you can kind of stand up and say, okay, that's nice. Giving old Winnipeg a shout out to, I know Huss and Remus and the boys down there kind of like
they were kind of cheering for his.
Well, of course,
all right, if you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up. It is the Nielsen Show presented to you by Southfort Chevrolet, closer than you think since '83. Check them out, www.southfortchev.com, or visit them 10109 89th Ave in Fort Sask. I like Michael with the Nasty Chat says, now I may focus on the CFL season. Hey, if that's the case, I'll be in Vancouver Thursday night to call the Elks and the Lions.
Wipe those hockey tears away
for the Bombers and Stamps. Sports goes on. It really does.
Riverhawks on the station tonight, 7:05, and they're a wagon. Half game back, a top spot in the division.
Woo!
I know all these things don't calm everything from last night, but sports continue.
Goes on, life
and
goes
this is
on,
a way
right?
to, what do we use sports for? What do we use the Oilers to take away from distractions in life? Use the other sports to take away and distract you from what happened to the Oilers.
Very good point.
It just keeps going. So just dive right into something else here, and again, off-season, what off-season, literally? There's going to be like hardly any off-season. This thing's going to start up again in a couple of weeks.
I'm really excited next Tuesday to be talking about, I can't believe they didn't get that guy in free agency. I can't believe Connor Brown walked away. Like, there's going to be a lot of fun conversations to have this team reconstructed next week.
A week away from July, we just did a morning after show.
Yeah. It's nuts. It's nuts. This was a hell of a run. And tomorrow we will celebrate the run. We will give you like our top 5 playoff songs and all the great content that we had during the playoff run. We understand what today's about. Everybody's down in the dumps. We're going to try to bring you out of that this morning. With that being said, we do have to get to That Hurts. And we got to get to something that we have not talked about yet today, and it was probably the most frustrating part of the hockey game, for me at least, watching it last night. But let's get into That Hurts, brought to you by SB LLP. Albertans suffer personal injuries and accidents every single day, but many of you are just too overwhelmed to seek the legal advice you need. Just leave it in the hands of those who can look after you. The personal injury lawyer experts at SB LLP. They've got the experience to advance your claim and make sure you get fair compensation, and you don't have to worry about the process. They got you. www.sb-llp.com. Click on personal injury or call 780-438-5281 and get that bank, bro. No need to feel shame. Let SB LLP handle the claim. All right, you know what hurts the most, I think, coming out last night?
Atlantis doing both anthems.
No, I was actually pretty excited about that. I had to, well, this isn't part of That Hurts, but Elizabeth had a birthday party that went until 6 last night. So I was waiting, picked her up at like 6:10.
Hey, you did that whole drive-through on the
Drove
abandoned
as fast
streets.
as we could on the Henday.
How was it out there?
It wasn't as busy as usual. We got home pretty quick. I had the game on in the truck. Shouldn't say it, like we had the video on. Like I was watching it. We were following along on it. And by the time we got home, it was 1-1, but we didn't miss anything. But what really hurts is the lack of push in the final 90 seconds. Goaltender's out. And with the way the season had gone, I still was sitting there going, well, this is part of the fairy tale script. Like they're going to tie it. They're going to get insane amounts of pressure late in this hockey game, and they're going to tie it. But instead, they got nothing. They got nothing. And if you ever, it looked like you saw a team run out, like you look at them in the final 90 seconds and you go, what the hell? Where's the sense of urgency? Like Bouchard wasn't rushing. He wasn't moving the puck quickly at all. McDavid got caught in the neutral zone and sort of just got taken down and dropped it back enough. They couldn't get in. They couldn't get anything going. And if you've ever watched 90 seconds of seeing a team just completely run out of gas, and give some credit to the Florida Panthers because they were staying on it, but still, generating nothing, not a lick, with the net empty over the final 90 seconds.
That's what they can do
just like
with
the
a man
final
advantage,
death blow in the entire thing. Like they didn't have it in the last 90 seconds. There was, like usually in the last 90 seconds, you get McDavid to swoop back and Bouchard will drop it back to him and they'll come up and there was none of that. Maybe they just knew that it wasn't going to be at that moment. But I was very disappointed in the lack of anything in the last 90 seconds of that hockey game. And maybe just we sit here this morning and go, Florida Panthers, 6-on-5.
There was
you shut
another
them down,
team,
and
that wanted to
that's
win.
what it was. But my God, to get nothing with the extra attacker was wild to me. And it didn't look good because I kept saying to Marshall, I was like, this is it. They're going to pull the goalie and they're going to bury one.
Well, because what they've done, they've tugged you along so much that you never think that it's over with them, right?
Yeah.
You can't say that it's complete, even with those mad scrabbles in front of it. You're waiting
But to
for
not
the
even
puck.
get
You're
it into the
expecting
zone
puck.
cleanly.
Well, yeah.
You're like, what the
and
hell?
what they can do with a man up. Like we've seen how they can toy with teams with a man advantage. But I look, credit to the Panthers. This is a game where this text, Oilers probably win this game at home, but that's just an excuse. In my opinion, we constantly hear this is every player's dream. Players grew up scoring the game winner in Game 7 of the Cup Final. Not one Oiler played like it mattered. This is how the Oilers played in mid-November. Like I said, I'm still angry this morning. I know it'll pass. The Panthers wanted it as well.
Two teams wanted to win the Stanley Cup
last night. One wanted
night.
it and didn't show up, and then the other was just given to it as a consolation. But again, we're in the market, so I get that. There's a little more talk about that, but
anyway, I thought that hurts. The fact that, and it probably hurt for a lot of you who are hardcore fans watching it last night and everybody down in attendance. You're thinking, okay, pull the goalie, and there's going to be a mad scramble, and Bobrovsky's going to have to stand on his bloody head at the end of this game. And instead, like not even not even a sniff with the net empty. And I thought that hurts. Like that was a tough way to see it end. And the battle in the corner, couldn't get it out at the end. Yada, 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 night over. So, yeah, we hadn't got to it yet, but that was probably the least effective I've ever seen the team play with their goalie pulled. And I know they've allowed, like, empty netters and stuff. I get it. But I've never seen them not move the needle even in the slightest with the extra attacker.
And maybe with the generous amounts of ice time during that final frame, hey, near the end, just wasn't. I mean, you're double, triple pumping them out there in shifts and everything. And
well, they were getting gassed.
25-42 for McDavid. 22-22 for an injured. Well, banged up both of them, I guess.
Knobloch, I thought he went to them a little bit too early together. Just a little bit, but whatever. I mean, he's pushed 1,000 right buttons this year. Tough to question that guy considering what he took over and where they are now, and they were this close to winning a Stanley Cup. Full marks to Knobloch, in my opinion. But however, I mean, we're going to read the text messages. We're here for you today. Guys, what disappointed me was how long Knobloch waited to pull the goalie. The Oilers had possession a few times in the Panther zone with 3 to 4 minutes left, and Stu was still in the net. KK did a lot of good things.
Yeah.
How he handled the pulling goalie was a fail.
Yeah, if you're going to lose 3-1, 4-1, doesn't matter, right? I mean, in the end.
Well, I was wondering when he was going to go, because they had, like, McDavid and Draisaitl had the puck in the zone there for a while, and I was like, is he going to pull the goalie now? At that point, I was thinking it might be a little bit early, but you do have possession down there. Get a fresh body off the bench and bring that energy into the zone while you got the puck down there. And then McDavid and Draisaitl, because they played so much over that stretch, had to head off. And then you had like the Fogle group out there, and he just didn't look like he had the faith to pull the goalie while Fogle's line was out there.
Yeah.
And I was saying to Marshall was just like, pull the goalie. And I said, I think he's waiting to try to get a whistle. Like, if they could have got a whistle with like 2 minutes left instead of 90 seconds left, probably would have been better for the team in that spot, but they didn't. And they weren't able to move the needle. One of the questions that we did ask last night on Twitter, we'll get to some of the great responses there, but I'll ask you this morning as well, and we'll get into it coming up here just after 7 o'clock today. At what point in last night's game, like when Florida scored the second goal, Tammy was done. She was just like, I can't deal with this. She goes, they're not. She knew it. It's like at that time she goes, they're not bringing it tonight. So she was extremely frustrated then. So what was the moment last night for you when you're like, it's not meant to be tonight? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. A conch to all of you who showed up this morning. And a conch for the Oilers for giving us a very memorable 2.5 months in the playoffs. I see people blaming Alanis. There's a lot of things to continue the conversation with for sure. We've got a sports update coming up for Green Plan. On the other side, like we said, every single hockey insider in the business is traveling this morning. But we are going to dive into some stuff for Pro-Am Sports, and we're going to get to the answer of that question. At what moment last night did you know it wasn't their night? Because there's a few different things, like when they don't score in the power play and the guy that broke his stick, you're like, what? How'd you not bury one there? That would have been huge. And then there's some other moments along the way. The mad scramble, and Bobrovsky's down. They got players laying in the crease. Got somebody. Yeah, this text came in from a 403 number earlier. No handle on these guys just yet. I'm curious why they never showed an overhead on the crease scramble. Did Bennett cover the puck with his hand? Can we start a penalty shot conspiracy?
You never really got a clean look at what all the bodies and carnage going on down there.
I don't think you want to be Calgary Flames fan. Oh, Jelena, it was in for the next 20 years. With the penalty shot conspiracy. So suck it up. They're going to get one in the next 1 to 3 years. I swear to God, Connor McDavid will deliver a Stanley Cup to this city. So hang in there. We don't need to go too far in the conspiracies today, but let's continue to break this game down. Sports update for Green Plan right now. More of your text messages on the other side, plus the $100,000 hole-in-one contest. In about 20 minutes, we'll give you a chance to swing to win for $100,000 with EST in Golftown. That's coming up.
Oilers coming up just short in their Stanley Cup comeback. The Panthers take Game 7 2-1 down in Florida. Matthias Janmark, the lone goal for the Oilers, as Connor McDavid was named the winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy, becoming just the 6th player to win it after losing the Cup. NHL Draft will begin Friday from Vegas. The Oilers currently holding the 64th overall pick. Also last night, the Bruins trading Linus Ullmark to the Sens in exchange for the Sens' 2024 first, forward Mark Kastelich and goaltender Jonas Korpisalo. On the diamond, the Edmonton Riverhawks are back home to start a 3-game set with the Bellingham Bells from Remax Field tonight. It's a game you can hear live on Edmonton Sports Talk. Coverage starts at 7:05. The Hawks are winners of 4 straight and sit a half game back of the division-leading Apple Sox. Prospects are back home as well. They'll host Weyburn out in Sherwood Park tonight from Centennial Park Field 9. Jays dropped the opener to the Red Sox down in Boston 7-6. Game 2 will go later tonight as the Jays look to avoid their 8th straight loss. On the pitch, Canada continues group stage play this evening at the Copa America as they take on Peru from Kansas City. Canada dropping its opener to Argentina 2-0 on Sunday. Chile will take on Argentina at 7 in the other group match. In the 2024 UEFA Euros continue later this morning and into the afternoon. France and Poland, Netherlands, Austria, both those matches at 10. Later on at 1, it'll be England taking on Slovenia and Serbia facing Denmark. Sports Update brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental planning and consulting service. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, plan it right with Green Plan. Visit green-plan.com or give them a call, 780-455-4292.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielsen Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in on TuneIn, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast, don't fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind? 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Dusty and Eric and all of the bad guys, like Brzezinski and Noodles, Gadget and Gage. Maybe just bump a cool band to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday Mandate. Sharky's always on time, Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some hot takes and we wanna hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away? Be left to tie a fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the games? Macramel, Rapapo, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All about them give a present, Dusty go forth. What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielsen Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Oh, it is the Nielsen Show on a Tombstone Tuesday.
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
Hey, we have to remember, Tombstone Tuesday's in the house today. Not everything is doom and gloom. Set the boys up. Set the boys up. And look at this, LeBron James. He's got a new head coach. This is going to be great. There we are, Tombstone Tuesday. This is everybody today listening to me say, this is part of the process. Yeah, well. The Edmonton Oilers will win a Stanley Cup in the next 1 to 3 years.
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
Maybe it's good Game 7 was on a Monday. You got Tuesday, Tombstone Tuesday, text of the day. This is the way to drive and get all that out of you.
How dude.
Yeah.
Right.
Let the movie take
out.
over.
Let it out. Let it out today. Hammer the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio this morning, where Popeyes has now launched the boneless wings. The bone-in wings were so successful, they said, you know what? Let's take the bone out and see what happens. And that is how they do it.
Yes, each individual, they have a worker assigned. It's you're the boner. And they give you the wing with the bone in it, and you take it out, and it's one by one, each wing individually boned.
Yeah, and then what happens is they take the bone, they grab the other meat like this, they pull it out, and then they just compact the meat down, and then throw it in the deep fryer, and boom,
bing bang,
boneless wings. That's how they're all made.
Yeah.
Popeyes is just changing the game, man. If you've not tried the boneless wings yet at Popeyes, you are missing out. Shout out to Furby, who owns the Popeyes. He was down at the game last night. He's heartbroken. I know he's heartbroken today.
Jasmine was singing the anthem in the house last night.
God.
Yeah. So if you're down, if you're, let us know. Boots on the ground, where you are. Give us a report. Let us know you're okay.
If you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We did manage to change 200 in the 6 o'clock hour. We appreciate that. If you're watching over there, we're here. We're here for you today. We're going to be here for you all summer.
Yep.
And we're going to be doing roster construction and off-season, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. The summer's going to be a lot of fun over here. So hammer the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Penner's Pancake says, I thought the sun was still coming up this morning, but I see nothing but gloomy clouds.
It's this afternoon. Yeah. It's just a little wet morning, just to cool you off a bit. This
is how it's meant to be. mind you, we're ready for summer here. I was looking at the forecast. A bunch of cloud and showers over the next week. Like
It's
a little ridiculous.
It's too unpredictable. That's the problem.
Nielsen Show presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Closer than you think since 83. Silverado 1500s. Heavy duties. 0% financing available on select models out in Fort Sask. Visit South Fort Chevrolet at 10109 89th Ave or on their website, www.southfortchev.com. And go see Daniel and his team out at South Fort Chev and tell them that Dusty or LTE or Zacticum sent you. That'd be hilarious, actually, if you rolled in there and like, hey, why are you guys here? Oh, Zacticum sent me.
Yeah. I want
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
That's the play.
Zacticum sent us.
How dude.
Zacticum sent you. No. Zacticum sent you.
I'm your huckleberry.
It really works. It really works for almost every one of those situations. Anyway, go see the team at South Fort Chev. Tell them one of us sent you, and then you'll get 15% off accessories for your new ride. So save a few bucks on a new ride out at South Fort Chevrolet. All right, let's get into this. Usually we would have Craig Button. It's really funny. When Craig Button can't make a show, you know everybody's busy.
I was waiting for Craig Button to fill in for Craig Button this morning.
Craig Button couldn't make it. But I fired out a few texts, and Craig Button's going to join us.
You wouldn't put it past him, like.
That's too good. With that being said, our Hockey Insiders all year long, and Hockey Insiders will probably keep on through all of next week as well with free agency and stuff. Hockey Insiders all year long, brought to you by the boys over at Pro-Am Sports. I was really looking forward to Pro-Am selling all of the Stanley Cup Championship gear. They'll just have to wait. They'll just have to change the year on it to 25 or 26 or something like that.
That's what you do.
It shouldn't have. I feel bad for that yearbook kid today. He was this close to
It's
nailing
another
it.
story that's
Remember
quashed.
yearbook kid?
Yeah.
Oilers in 2024. He missed on it. Damn. That's a tough one. Anyway, Barry, Ken, and Jack over at Pro-Am Sports just want to thank Edmonton Sports Talk and all the Nasties for their incredible support. This sounds good. We will be sewing the final patches on jerseys all summer, right? They were there. They were in the final.
Oh, yeah.
That jersey should have that cup final patch on
You're
it.
still we're gonna talk about this as time goes on. This will still be a memorable thing. The first step in a process here.
How about this? I like this. This gets me a little bit aroused. Stay tuned for details for the granddaddy of all sales in July. ProAmSports.ca. Boom. There it is.
Yep.
The granddaddy. Nobody uses granddaddy enough to promote a sale. But that's a good one. I like that one.
Don't get bigger than that.
The granddaddy of all sales coming in July at Pro-Am Sports. So start saving your pennies. Get the piggy bank ready. We have a piggy bank here. We still don't know whose piggy bank that is.
It's from the old post show studio. The old place.
Oh, over
it was
at,
just sitting
over
there.
at, in the Bell Building.
But I don't know whose it was.
We still don't know whose it was. That could be anybody's.
Yeah.
That could be
Ray Chambers.
Daryl McIntyre's piggy bank. You'll never know. And it's a big piggy bank. It's like an old school piggy bank.
Yeah, you have to break it to open.
Is there anything in that piggy bank?
If you like a button, maybe a pin, like just.
I put $2 in there.
Why'd you put $2 in the piggy bank?
I found it on the ground.
You could have got a new golf club with that $2, Zactica.
Half of one.
Unbelievable. All right, so we were asking you the question today. We might get to Draisaitl's post game too, Zach. You can load that up. Maybe hear what Leon Draisaitl had to say. But we were asking you this morning, like, at what moment last night did you know that it just wasn't going to happen? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Ketchup Chips is in it. Says, boys, I agree with Dusty's wife, Tammy. After the second goal, I did not feel good. The game felt just like 2006's Game 7. T. Pity. We got to change his name to T. Pity. I don't think he wants to be called Ketchup Chips anymore, even though Ketchup Chips are delicious.
I really love ketchup
chips. And that is
chips,
a hilarious handle.
Never find him here. T. Pity.
Dave the Welder's in and says, guys, end of the second period. I was 99% sure they were done. I went out and started doing chores I'd been putting off for the last 2 months.
Man, I'm sitting there in the first intermission. Second's about to get underway. Some guy fires up the lawnmower on the block.
No!
Proceeds to do the whole front lawn 5 minutes into the second.
What?
Clearly, I don't think a hockey, shall we say, aficionado or fan.
Or had he given up?
Well, that's what I was. I just don't think he kind of knew what was happening. But rather weird, as you're sitting there, I opened up all the windows in my house. I was getting so nervous prior to puck drop, but complete silence. I'd go outside. I had some European wieners from Corey the Butcher again on the grill last night.
Very nice.
Beautiful. The beers are flowing and everything. But the silence and but then, what the hell are you doing? Couldn't believe it.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would you mow your lawn during the game last night? Holy smokes. It can't be that important. It's not going to grow that much before today.
I don't understand.
Ridiculous. Brett's is in 780-218-9999. It is the Paris Jewelers inbox. 22 locations across the country. Check them out, parisjewelers.com. Brett's is in and says, the moment it felt like it wasn't going to happen was when Draisaitl whiffed on the one-timer when Bob was finally leaving a bit of space on it. I know the moment you're talking about. That was one of those things that definitely feel weird. Rob from LA this morning says the Oilers played well. Panthers wouldn't allow them to break out clean. Tip the hat to the Panthers, and the Panthers penalty kill equals the MVP.
I'm going to go to this one because we're doing it. IMAC, not a good game by Skinner. Too much playing the puck. But they just seized up, in my opinion. Is the Perry curse real? Not having any margin room for error, going down 0-3 was the killer. In the end, goal was the issue. Wasn't good enough early, put them in a pickle. The better team lost, but I believe goal was the main letdown. Love him, but he's not an A goalie yet.
I'm trying really hard to not get fired up at bad takes. But Stuart Skinner is in his second year and just went to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, backstopping a team through games 4, 5, and 6 to complete the near most miraculous Stanley Cup championship in all time, and allows 2 goals in Game 7, while Leon Draisaitl doesn't have a shot on goal. Connor McDavid doesn't get a point in Game 6 or 7. Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, Bouchard, nothing in Game 7. But yes, Stuart Skinner is the reason that they didn't win the Stanley Cup. My God, people!
The original plan had Campbell starting last night, correct? I mean,
Yes.
Skinner shouldn't even be here.
Skinner's still supposed to be the backup.
Exactly.
Like, he's been thrust into this role over the last 2 years unfairly, has handled it, was nominated for the Calder last year, and went to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. And if you ask any person out there and you said Stuart Skinner will only allow 2 goals in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, do the Edmonton Oilers win the Stanley Cup? 100% of you would have said yes. The big guys didn't get it done last night. Do not hang the loss on Stuart Skinner. I'm sorry. God love you. We appreciate the support here at Edmonton Sports Talk IMAC. I know you texting all the time. I love you, buddy. But you're wrong. You're wrong.
Beef nips over the top rope. The team scored 1 goal. This game has nowhere on Skinner.
How do you watch the team score 1 goal last night and have the nerve to text in about Stuart Skinner letting them down? What are we doing here?
From Matthias Janmark, and no offense to him, but
what type of world are we living in? This is nuts to me. If that's how Skinner's going to be treated by fans in this market, he should request a trade right now and go somewhere else. And the Oilers can roll back out with Jack Campbell and Pickard next year. Some of you might like that. All right, next text. I'm sorry. Hammer the thumbs up right now. I'm furious. I don't get it. Like, you know what? They're right. Stuart Skinner should have had a shutout last night. That's it.
Again, you're offered 2 goals prior to that game.
Yeah, you're going to take it.
Gimme that. Gimme. I'm with you, Dusty. Adam from Moncton, New Brunswick. Skinner was 10-0, 196, 969 save percentage going into last night. What more do people want from him? First goal was a tip because Bouchard cheated. Second goal was Kulak allowing Reinhardt to walk in. And a great shot from Reinhardt as well. You mentioned this guy's a sniper. He's a goal scorer.
Like
this is what he does.
Goals
he makes his money off doing this.
Calendar year.
But you would have thought the other 70-goal scorer, or close to, or 70 on the other end, maybe would have had a sniff as well last night. We haven't mentioned Zach Hyman's name yet. I know we're talking about McDavid and Draisaitl and banged up, but where's the 70-goal man?
Draisaitl played 22 minutes last night. Didn't have a shot on goal. But let's send in Skinner text today.
but again, Draisaitl in defense probably banged.
Well,
Connor
he's
too.
banged up. Connor's banged up.
But I ask you, then Hyman, if right, we don't just stop at 97 and 29
Hyman,
here.
Nuge,
this is a guy
Bouchard. None of them did anything last night.
Like, it goes farther than the top two, but this just illustrates the point even greater that big group of offensive power and that carried you to this point came up dry.
780 218-9999. Zulu's in and says, Skinner could have won the cup, and some fans still would say that he isn't good enough. And, this is what you don't realize. You've got a goaltender who's just finishing his second full year in the National Hockey League. Who's good? That's a huge, for years, you've been bitching about goaltending in this city, and understandably so. I mean, you've gone from Koskinen and Mike Smith to a guy who's in his mid-20s, who prior to last night had been unbeaten in games 5, 6, and 7 or whatever it was with ridiculous numbers, and he only allows 2 goals last night, and some people still aren't happy with it. Clearly, there'll be no pleasing you.
How's this one? Big Maple. Blaming Skinner is like Mitch Lewicki blaming the lot attendant for not selling enough cars to meet the monthly goal.
They're not even a salesperson. It's wild to me. All right, D-Rock is in and says, I knew it was over when McDavid was falling down on his tight cutbacks, as well as when Draisaitl was getting knocked down so easily and by his body language. It was weird last night. McDavid, the couple of times he tried those tight turns and he sort of fell. The one time they were buzzing and he tried a short drop pass to the blue line and it got picked off. They just didn't have it last night. The big boys didn't have it last night. If they have it last night, the Edmonton Oilers win Stanley Cup.
And it's more than just 97-29 too. Again, there's Hyman, there's Nugent.
Yeah,
all
none
the
of
names
those guys did anything.
No, so maybe if one of them,
as a group, as a core, they will be back in this spot, and next time they're there, they will win the Stanley Cup. I know some of you have said, not if Skinner's still around. Calm down, okay? I don't know what that guy's supposed to do to make people happy. It's crazy to me. He's going to be in net for Team Canada, for goodness sakes, at the next best on best.
Well, it's not saying much with the other competition he's got.
You know what's going to be funny is he's going to play behind this juggernaut Canadian team, and he's going to win, and the people are going to be like, well, why can't he do that here? Well, it's because he's playing behind the best players in the world.
Does he carry the Kings to a probably not. No. But in front of this team, why not?
All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. And we will get to roster changes, roster construction as we work our way through I want to say through the next few months. But as we work our way through the next few shows, we have to get into that transition. Tomorrow will probably be remembering the cup run. Oh, remember this song? That was great. Remember this song? It'll be a fun show tomorrow. Yeah. And then it's time to start blowing guys out and start keeping guys around.
Oilers Jets preseason Sunday, September 22.
September 22nd.
That's preseason.
That's less than
hockey.
3 months preseason.
That's preseason.
Training camp will open 2 weeks.
Reports.
Rookie camp. Rookie camp's already opening.
The bikes with the tubes in their mouths, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot to get to there. All right, let's do this. If you're watching, Ryan Finley says, I'm here for Dusty's rage. Give it to him. And it's not everybody. It's not like we're getting a billion text messages and 100% of the people are like, Stuart Skinner. But to come in today with they'll never win when they have Stuart Skinner take is unbelievable to me. They almost did. And it wasn't on him last night. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
There's not a lot of vitriol this morning, but I do find it's funny that that's where the minuscule amount of it is going with some people.
Yeah,
I'll say 28%.
Any take 25%. On it is a bad take when McDavid, Hyman, Nuge, their offense last night was provided by a great pass from Cody Ceci to Matthias Janmark, who looked like a 50-goal man going in and going top cheese. They had nothing else from anybody. But yeah, man, I wish Skinner didn't blow it for him last night, please. My goodness. Get me the birdie booze. I need a drink right now. That's what I need. I know we've got that one that's just sitting in front of the TV. This is an emergency situation. We'll replace it. South Dakota Spirits is churning that stuff out like crazy. Yeah, no. Eric just held up the Chris Pronger Journey whiskey. We're saving that one for Gager. I can't take it anymore. You guys mind if I drink right out of this thing, or do you? What do we got? Here, get those A&W cups over here.
Oh, they're kind of there's some dust in them. Yeah,
greasy?
Dusty. There's some dust in them.
Doesn't matter to me. My God. Danny T in the nasty chat or in the inbox says, if we get 500 likes by 8 a.m., will Dusty flip the table in rage? Pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. That's for sure. All right. We're going to do... you want one, Rick? Yeah, you want one. Zach, you're good? Or you want one?
I'll pass right
good.
now.
You know
It's
what?
a little bit too early for me.
You know what, Zach? That's a good, mature decision.
I'm working right now.
You are-
Thanks,
you're-
Dusty.
I'm proud of you, Zach. I'm working too. working on finishing this Mickey.
You ain't shy there, hey? Yeah. When?
Yeah, sorry. A toast to Stuart Skinner, putting in a hell of a performance for the Edmonton Oilers in these playoffs. Unbelievable. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Me likey. It's real nice. It's got a good... Now we're going. Hey, let's do Golf Town. The $100,000 hole-in-one. Do you want to call the... let's call yesterday's winner.
Yeah.
Babbage
And
stash.
we will-
The TV bottle Iwanika's going to kill you.
I know, he is going to kill us.
Yeah, screw him.
Iwanik's going to walk in today. Actually, he probably will text us. He's not even listening. Hey, did somebody touch the TV bottle?
Actually, he will be pretty.
He will be mad.
Yeah.
Blame it on Trev.
Good point. That's a good point. Trev was here last night. He was miserable.
He was, yeah.
You know what I'm going to do?
It was a mess.
I'm going to go put... Trev's car is still here he left his vehicle here last night. I'm going to go put this out just underneath like the tire and be like, what did Trev do?
He's
You
an
drank
animal.
the TV bottle.
He's a mess.
You're fired. Just kidding. Nobody's fired. In fact, we're hiring a few people. Can't say who just yet, but it's going to be exciting. All right, let's get to the $100,000 hole-in-one presented to you by Golf Town. Unfortunately, hockey season is officially done. However, golf season is officially on. We got the $100,000 hole-in-one. We got the EST Golf Classic that's going to be happening July 9th. Sold-out event. It's going to be absolutely tremendous. So it's time now to swap those jerseys for the polos. Just like the one Tommy Gazzola was wearing last night on the pregame show.
Man, Goose and whatever his
Goose
name
and
were
Mav. They were looking good last night. We got to come up with a name for Tommy and Maddie. Like, not the downtown
With
boys,
shades
but like
on.
something along
When
those
the shades
lines.
are on,
like-
yeah, they...
Yeah, something along those lines I think would be really good. But unwind from the high energy of the playoffs by getting out and enjoying the physical and mental benefits of golf. Check it out, golftown.com. They got a bunch of specials. Like every single week, they're rolling out new specials at Golftown. So huge thanks to Golftown for hopping on board with a $100,000 hole-in-one. Your keyword today, well, this is kind of fitting considering we just had a shot. Your keyword today, you'll text this in to 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Your keyword today is daily.
Oh, thought it'd be shot.
No, as in, oh, that would have been really, I mean, ironic. With Alanis Morissette last night. Unbelievable.
Daily.
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 D-A-L-Y as in John Daly.
Yeah.
He would like shots. Like John Daly would love the birdie booze.
Oh, that's part of a well-balanced breakfast, I'm sure.
We should actually reach out to John Daly and be like, how much to become the official like promoter of the birdie booze? But he also has to wear the Smash costume.
Carton of cigarettes a day.
That would have to. He has to.
Wow.
The Smash costume wouldn't fit John Daly, but it would be hilarious. We're gonna get to our qualifier. Zach's having the longest conversation ever with him.
That's part of the thing of qualifying. You get to talk to Zach for 10 minutes.
Zach tells you his life story if you qualify. All right, let's go to who do we have? What do we have? Daryl? Did we lose him? We got him?
No, I'm just connecting the Bluetooth. We do have Daryl. I think he's connected.
Okay, let's go to Daryl. Are you there?
I'm here, man. How's it going?
I'm doing good, man. I know it's not ideal. You would have rather us been talking about Stanley Cup today, but you are going to have a swing for $100,000. How's that sound?
Sounds good, but I don't golf, so this will be interesting.
You know what, though? I always say it. Alexander Ovechkin didn't golf, and that dude rolled in a hole-in-one. So it's possible. Do you even have clubs, Daryl?
No, I don't.
Yes, I love it. Daryl,
it's going to be an amazing experience. Show up.
Daryl, do you know if you swing left or right-handed?
No, I do know that I swing right-handed.
Okay,
yes,
you're a righty. All right, so
I'm going to go to the clubhouse though and rent some clubs, just one.
Yeah,
just bring it to the hole.
I want to rent. I mean, you haven't golfed before. You probably want to rent like a 4-iron or a 5-iron, and then take a rip at her. I love it. Have you ever played golf in your life?
Yeah, I've gone a couple times when I was a kid, not in my adult life.
Yeah.
But,
so when was the last time you swung a club?
Ooh, probably, 15 years ago.
Oh, dude, this would be amazing. Like, I'm pulling for you, dude.
Yeah.
If you roll in a hole-in-one after not swinging a golf club in 15 years.
Could you imagine?
That's an all-time story. You're setting yourself up to be an absolute legend, Daryl. I love it, man. Good luck. We'll see you on July 3rd out of the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, there you go. Text in daily right now, DALY, for your chance to get a swing.
That'd be a great story in the documentary, hey?
I love it. Like, as some people who don't golf would be like, oh, I don't want to get in the contest. I'm too nervous. Daryl's like, screw it. Like, you get a chance.
He gets to hit a ball.
Yeah.
And it might go in a hole for $100,000. Who's to say?
Zach is still talking to Daryl. Zach just told Daryl that he shot a 167 last week. I love it. I love it. Oh, Zach, you're a very personable guy. I love it.
Well, I was saying maybe he hasn't swung a club in 15 years. I could give him some tips.
Yeah, of course.
So I offered my help.
Oh my God.
We are now scraping the bottom
Zach
of the
is
bin here,
offering golf tips.
Well,
unbelievable. All right, if you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. That would be great. Let's push. Ooh, we're almost changing 300. This is great.
Decent.
Let's change 300 here. We got the Cool Bet hotline of the day. Let's do that now. Then we'll get into an update. Then we'll get into confessions. Oh, confessions.
Well,
confessions. That's going to be, man, my Cool Bet account is gone. I had it all on the Oilers to win Game 7 last night. The entire account. And
it's like gone. Like, this is,
like, in fact, I don't even know if I can log in anymore.
You're done.
That's like
You
how
are
gone
done.
my account is. But
you left it all out there, as they say. You left it all out on the ice.
I believed in the team. Stay cool, bet responsibly. But if you lost your entire account on the Oilers last night, hopefully it was within your means. And start following us on the Lock Shop for CFL picks because I'm 7-1 in the last 2 weeks, and we'll get that money back.
Moneymaker.
Baby. We'll get that money back. Let me see here. Oh, the Stanley Cup odds are out for 24-25. The Stanley Cup favorite at Coolbet right now. The defending champs, out of respect.
Okay.
Out of respect, plus 650. The team with the second best odds to win the Stanley Cup next year at 7-1, your Edmonton Oilers. And I'm telling you right now, by the time the puck drops on the season next year, the Edmonton Oilers will be the betting favorite to win the Stanley Cup at every single
That
sportsbook.
Panthers shout is garbage. I get the whole respect thing, but give me a break.
No.
They've climbed the mountain.
They've been there twice. They're not going back to back.
Yeah. Who's got the hunger now, right?
I mean,
I think
if you watch
Drexel was asked how
McDavid's
hungry you can be.
postgame,
Yeah. And
if you
there's
watch
always more
McDavid's post game, I think you'll know that he's got something left in the tank for next season. Ooh, CFL lines are out. Wow.
This is.
So the BC Lions and the Elks play on Thursday. I'll be there at BC Place to call that game if you want to watch it on TSN. Do my best to bring you an entertaining broadcast. The Lions are only 6-point favorites against the Elks, which surprises me a little bit. And this kind of says what people are thinking about the Elks because after week one, Calgary won week one, went into BC for that home opener, were 9-point dogs. Edmonton's 0-3, rolling into BC, 6-point dogs.
The Amer Demond Den. And you were on the ground in Winnipeg for BC's 26-24 victory, were you not? Or was that were you there in that one?
Yeah, I called that one, yeah.
I mean, 26-24... I don't know the book on BC as of yet, but I don't mind the numbers that Edmonton's been putting up, at least offensively, to be a little bullish with them on this one. Hell of a thing. And now this is the best part. Week 4 of the CFL, you get your games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just lined up however you do, and head over to Coolbet. And again,
it's really nice.
This is the moneymaker.
Really nice right now over at Coolbet. Okay, let's go here tonight. Or today, however you laid out, Rick. France, Poland, Netherlands, Austria, Denmark, Serbia.
Earmuffs, people. This is fascinating because Group C and D, everything's to play for. Still,
give me a winner.
Go. Give me a
France,
match.
Poland.
France, Poland. I'll go France.
Yeah, France is minus 385 though.
Okay. Yeah.
Netherlands, Austria.
Ooh, I like a little on Austria here, to be honest.
You
with
do.
You. They play really well. They come at you. They don't sit back. The Dutch, I never really know what to make of them too much either, and kind of getting through late. I don't mind a little Austria action if you are going to take something on an underdog.
Plus 330 as the dog
to get a win or
to win.
What about to draw?
Plus 310.
Because they
draw is plus 225.
Austria only need really a draw to get to the 4 points.
Let's do it. Let's do the draw.
Okay.
Okay, the other one, though, Denmark, Serbia.
I like Denmark in that one.
Okay, well, the Denmark to win is plus 140, which is a pretty good return.
Sure.
Denmark?
Yeah.
You know what? My grandpa's from Denmark.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Great Dane.
Let's do it.
Great
Denmark
Dane.
to win plus 140. That is your cool bet hotline of the day. All right, we got confessions coming up.
You know what? This is how you do it, hey? The day after.
The only difference here is that we would have been doing this out of Marshall's Little Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Instead, we'll just do it out of the bottle.
Win or lose. Win or lose. Win or lose.
Win or lose, we birdie booze. This stuff is delicious. Like, you're going to love this. This stuff's outstanding. All right, on the way next, confessions. What do we have? What do you need to confess? I know you're sitting there from the Stanley Cup final. You got confessions. How much money did you spend during the playoffs?
Now that it's over,
you
can say anything you want.
Yeah.
The significant others aren't listening, right? Like,
nope,
it's just
definitely not.
The money.
Yeah, I want somebody to text and be like, I spent $22,000 on the playoff run.
Who did you sleep with? This is a process today, right? No, we're getting we're drinking, we're getting it all out here.
It is the Nielsen Show, presented to you by Southport Chevrolet. Go see Daniel and his team at Southport Chev. Tell them we sent you. Get 15% off of accessories for your new ride. Pretty cool. Sports update coming up. On the other side, confessions, and we'll dive back into the inbox with the Fan Zone for Fans First. And you know what? As a city, if you need a little pick-me-up today, if you need a song to pick you up, like how can we get you back on track today? You let us know. 780-218-9999. We are here for it. 780-218-9999. I think I got a little Whale in the Wolf locked and loaded coming back. Let's get to a sports update for Park Mazda with Lieutenant Eric.
Not enough for the Oilers in the tank last night. They come up just short of their Stanley Cup comeback. Panthers taking Game 7 down in Sunrise 2-1. Matthias Janmark, the lone goal for the Oilers. Connor McDavid was named the winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy, becoming just the 6th player to win it after losing the Stanley Cup. Next on the sked, the draft begins Friday down in Vegas. The Oilers currently holding the 64th overall pick. Also last night, the Bruins trading Linus Ullmark to the Senators. Riverhawks are back home. They'll kick off a 3-game set with the Bellingham Bells tonight from Remax Field. It's a game you can hear live on Edmonton Sports Talk. Al Coates has the call. Coverage starts 7:05. Hawks enter play this morning or into the evening. Winners of 4 straight. They also sit a half game back of the division-leading Apple Sox. Prospects also back home. They'll host Weyburn this evening down at Centennial Park Field 9 out in Sherwood Park. Jays dropping the opener to the Red Sox down in Boston 7-6. Game 2 of that 3-game set goes later tonight as the Jays look to avoid their 8th straight loss. Copa America action. Canada continues group stage play this evening out in Kansas City against Peru. Canada dropping its opener to Argentina 2-0 on Sunday. The other group match will see Chile take on Argentina at 7. Over to the UEFA Euros. 4 matches in total today. Action starts this morning at 10. Netherlands take on Austria while France battle Poland. Later this afternoon at 1, England, Slovenia, and Denmark up against Serbia. Sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where you can come by the dealership today, light a candle with Mitch, and tell him everything you hated about last night.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching the button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
I've got something under my skin, and the itch won't go away. It's my original sin, the poison that I brave. Come along for the ride, I'd make you feel better. Cut the rope that I tied, but then I broke my skin again. You got me fiending for that first high, but the feeling's not the same. You got me stealing, killing, I die just to feel you in my veins.
Whale and the Wolf, EST House Band, with you here on a Tuesday morning.
How dude.
You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. Nielsen Show presented by Southport Chevrolet. Nasty chat. I see. Zacticum, is that you on deleting nasty chat duties?
Yep, yeah, I'm just making sure everything's a little bit nice and
the
clean.
Lord's work.
Yeah.
Doing the Lord's work.
Family friendly, yeah.
Somebody's got to do it. Somebody has to do it. We're closing in on 300 likes. We're 11 away, so let's hammer that thumbs up over on YouTube today. If we can pull off a 500 or 600 like show today, it just goes to show the support that we've had. And look, we are very appreciative of all the support for Edmonton Sports Talk since we started. I promise you, come September, and the summer's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to... Usually in summer, like we get loosey-goosey, and it's really fun in the summer.
Well, and this is, it's not like, I think Oilers fans this morning, you got to understand that, like, this was a long run. They juiced, Ice District, Kate's Group, OEG, the money, the local pubs, the bars, everybody. Like, this was outside from lifting and hoisting the cup last night, a pretty good run. EST, we've been down to Hudson's for pre- and post-game shows. Love them down there. A lot of things happened. But this is an off-season that's going to be gone in a blink of an eye. Usually we were used to off-season. What off-season? We made a bit out of it. It's months and months on end. We take 2-week vacations. We're gone. We're all this. Listeners are checking out. Oh, see you in September, whatever it is. I think, much as the Panthers used last season's loss, this is a continuation. We are at halftime right now of a longer scenario.
Yeah, they're going to win. They're going to win a Stanley Cup.
It's going to take a while. We're going to have to go through the motions. You're going to have to suss this out, get out the venom, all that stuff. But this is going to be a very quick off season, perhaps a cerebral one in terms of roster construction. We don't. Again, I know we're going to get to all this in time, but the Holland era is over.
Yeah, it got you close.
Didn't get the cup, but now it's the dawning of a new day. We will see how things go. But an off season, what off season? This is going to be a quick one. It should be a short one. And again, I'm just feeling like this is, Connor will go off. He'll run off. He'll get married. He'll come back. You can't tell me a better storyline heading into next season than the Edmonton Oilers right now, especially with everything that transpired over the past one. So keep the cameras rolling. Keep it going. Enjoy your summer for however how many weeks it lasts, a month or whatever. And this thing's going to get going right quick again. Off season, what off season? I don't think that term has ever had such a truth to it than this offseason, right?
It hits harder right now than ever before.
But what offseason?
There's going to be no offseason. Exactly. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be like, oh, they signed this guy, and this guy. The Elks win 6 in a row, and preseason starts. Like, that's basically what you're looking at here. We're going to get to confessions for Spectrum Rental. Changing 300. Let's keep hammering the thumbs up over on YouTube. Sub to the channel if we haven't. Our push through the summer months will be to get to 10,000 subs. And I know we can do it. It'll be amazing when we get there.
Maddie promised a party.
Great. Maddie did say we're allowed to celebrate that one. Greg Wyshynski tweeting out the Conn Smythe voting. There are, let's see here. Here's everybody who voted on the Conn Smythe. Jonathan Bernier, Per Berman, Ryan S. Clark, Josh Clipperton, Luke Fox, Francois Gagnon.
Per Berman?
Colby Guy, Chris Johnston, Emily Kaplan, LeBrun, Matheson, McPherson, Daniel Nugent-Bowman, Michael Russo, Saravalli, Spector, and Wino. It was almost unanimous. There was only one vote that wasn't for McDavid, and that was Ryan S. Clark. He voted for Bobrovsky. He was the only person to have Bobrovsky in a first or second place.
I find that a little odd.
The only person. It was all every single ballot had McDavid and Barkov, 1, 2. Ryan S. Clark had Bobrovsky 1, McDavid 2, Barkov 3rd. The only bracket that looked different in any way was Jim Matheson, who went McDavid, Hyman, Bouchard for the full-blown homer ballot, which is absolutely a legendary move by Matty.
A shot for Matty.
Jim Matheson. You know what? Jim Matheson didn't even know the Panthers were playing. I love Matty. God.
Respect the process
I hope he slides
here,
in my DMs and goes, here's my reason for voting, which he probably will. Let's yeah, Jimmy. Cheers to Jim Matheson for not voting for a single Panther for the Conn Smythe.
You know it. Yeah.
Unreal. That's great. Absolutely terrific stuff. All right, 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999.
What were his votes again? McDavid, Draisaitl, Bouchard?
McDavid, Hyman, Bouchard.
Well, okay, so you got your 3 of the 4 top point getters.
I mean, basically, you're taking the top point getter, the top goal scorer, and the top defensive point getter.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to justify it, you kind of
Barkov there at number 4.
It's not necessarily a brilliant look, but still, I got time
He's
for
playing
it.
the role, hey?
Yeah.
And we appreciate that.
All right, let's get into your confessions for Spectrum Rental. The inbox has been taking an absolute pounding today. There we are. I knew they'd sent one in.
Yeah.
Spectrum Rental, presenting sponsor of Confessions, where they confess to believing so much in the Oilers that they couldn't even muster up a good losing confession. Get all of your landscaping equipment at Spectrum Rental, right? They just hurting so much today, they couldn't even come up with hilarious confession.
And that's fair.
And I understand it. They're hurting like you. If you want to get equipment from somebody who's hurting as much as you are, go see the team at Spectrum Rental.
Today's the day to commiserate. You head into the shop. You talk with whomever.
Nobody's working today.
No, you can. We're all in this together, win or lose.
You're talking about who should be re-signed and who shouldn't today. Who should be traded and who should they acquire. That's what today's about. All right, let's get to your confessions. Hey, boys, I've got a confession this morning. Last night for the game, my buds and I got some pizza for it, and we each chipped in and paid for it. Most people had 1 or 2 slices. Well, I ended up having 5 or 6. I hope no one noticed. That's from Derek. I love Derek.
What
a pizza hog.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he's sitting there having his
It's game 7.
Being
It's game 7.
Just loving it. Zatican, what do you think of that guy?
The pizza hog?
Yeah.
I love it. That's the same thing that I do.
That is what you would do.
You guys
Zach
know I
energy
eat
right
everything. If nobody notices, if it's still there after a certain amount of time, like you eat the first couple of slices and it's still sitting there, it needs a home in my belly.
That's a great question, though. If you chip in on pizza with, let's say you got 5 guys, and you all chip in.
BMPP pie, though?
Well,
What are we talking about?
look,
56-inch?
What he should have done is gone to
Nobody's complaining.
bmppp.ca.
Yeah.
Got the 36-incher. There's 60 pieces. Nobody's like right now, today, there might be 2 of his buddies there last night being like, did you see how much pizza Derek ate last night?
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention that his name has a Y in it.
People are talking.
Like, this is wild to me right now. But let's say you order 2 pizzas, 8 slices of pizza. That's usually how it works, right? 8 slices of pizza, 16 slices. I do 3 pizzas, 24 slices for 5 guys.
Yeah.
What's the no, let's go to 2 pizzas for 5. With 5 guys you'd order 3 pizzas.
Yeah.
So what's proper etiquette there?
24 slice, 5 guys. So you're a slice
just
short of
sliced. So if a guy has 6, I don't think that's the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world, but it is. You're kind of going off over that 5 marker. Like you should look at 4, maybe go 4.5 to the 5, going to the 6.
The worst thing would have been if you also took a couple slices home.
Well, that's
like
who's taking slices home. That's like taking beer out of the fridge. You bring beer to a party. Time to go home. I'm gonna.
You're sacrificing those silver bullets.
They're gone. They're gone.
That's what you're doing in that situation. There's no way you go to somebody's house, they order in pizza, and you like pull a Tupperware out of your backpack, and you're like, I'm going to take this pizza home.
I mean,
there's
hell
no way.
of a move, but no.
That's a ballsy move right there. You're walking around like Jesus and Big Lebowski with that ball when he's just like...
Not coming back to my place, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Right?
The General is in and says, guys, confession. Coolbet has a $24 max bet right now on the Oilers plus 700, and it's really bothering me. Well, that's probably because Coolbet knows that the city is going to bet tens of thousands of dollars on the Oilers to win the Cup next year, and when they do it, they probably have to shut down, so that would probably be the case.
Give me a better story heading into next year. Who's got it?
There isn't. No, it's
there
the
isn't.
Oilers.
All the stories have been exhausted. Vegas got theirs. Colorado got theirs. Florida, they've been to the final.
I'm going to do it then. I'm going to do it right now. Mark it down.
Flip it, Zach. Mark
it's
it down.
7:40. It's 7:48, June 25th, 2024. I'm going to be the first to do it. The Edmonton Oilers will be Stanley Cup champions in 2025.
Yeah.
Done.
Take that, Jim Matheson.
Yeah.
Even he couldn't have done that, eh?
Even Matheson,
you pipped him to the
voting
post.
for 3 Oilers to win the Conn Smythe, wouldn't have the balls to do this.
So once again, what's the line?
Edmonton Oilers, 2025 Stanley Cup champions. You heard it first right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Zach, have you ever worked with anybody who's as bold as I am right now?
No, I can't say I have. That's a good take, though.
Yes, it is.
It's not a bad one.
It's a great take.
Especially on Coolbet.
7-1. If you're watching on YouTube today and like the fact that I just officially put my neck on the
It's
line. It's out.
We have a timestamp. We have a date. It's all. We got the receipts.
I can't back off of it now. Clip it. Tweet it. I'm in. Edmonton Oilers, 2025 Stanley Cup champions. And on top of it, tweet this.
Okay. What is happening? I've got it up here.
I think they're going to cruise through the playoffs. I think it's a Stanley Cup final that goes 5 games at best.
Stoff had his regular season win count out last night, 50 to 55, I think.
For next year? Stoff's already done that?
He's got the win count all, but
amazing.
So say this line again, I think, ... What was it?
I think they cruise through the playoffs. Put that up.
I will.
Tweet that this morning. What do
The
you think
birdie
about that?
blues flowing
The birdie
through.
blues is flowing. Boys, what else do you
Lubing
want me
it
to
up.
predict?
The season starts today.
I'll predict anything right now.
I love it. Let's go. Like
No,
this is
but I honestly believe it.
Redemption tour starts now.
I think next year it's like the Oilers cruise. They've been there.
Again, who's in the way, especially in the West?
Dallas. I would think Dallas, but we saw Dallas.
Exactly. You've conquered that foe. You've lost in the conference finals. You got swept by the Avs. They won their cup. You've now lost in the finals to the Panthers, who have won their cup after being denied. Dallas, I don't. Yeah, that might be. They might even draw. That might not be a thing in terms of how things set up.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you got to know how the Oilers came into this thing. If they go and win the regular Presidents, whatever.
I'm
get
already
the whole
predicting
ice.
Oilers in 5 next year in the Stanley Cup final. Like, it's when it happens. The show the next morning will be the greatest morning ever because we're going to be running back this tape and being like, I called it a year ago.
It starts today.
Now, with that being said, the Stanley Cup next year probably won't be dished out till like July 3rd or something.
Whatever.
But still.
Doesn't matter when.
It's pretty impressive. All right. Hula Boy Steve on Confessions. I confess that the silver lining of the Oilers' loss is that my brother-in-law, who's a Calgary fan, wasted all that money to go to Florida and watch the game. Then why would a Calgary fan spend a ton of money to go watch the Oilers in the Stanley Cup final?
My wife, who works downtown,
yes,
was leaving work yesterday from the Ice District. A few Flames jerseys observed in the mix. I don't mind the trolling there. I would ask this as well, with the whole nation getting behind the Oilers, if the Flames were in this position.
Oilers fans aren't flying down to watch the Calgary Flames.
No, but there would be a few trolling. Why not? To have a good time?
Oh, just to be there like, oh.
Everybody loves their rival losing.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
get
yeah.
wrong with that. Like
That's a good point.
that's natural. That should be a thing. If Flames fans want that, that's what happens. When you have the nation on your shoulders and you have to bring the cup home, some people want you to do it. Other people really don't want you to do it, and that's what I've said. I think Farhan Lalji had a tweet last night as well, talking about this whole Canadiana thing.
What did he say?
I'm going to bring this up here.
Well, Farhan's
And
also
entertain me
always
for a
like
sec. He had a really good take.
anti-Blue Jays because he's a Mariners
Well,
fan.
'cause he speaks-
Look, I'll just be honest. Farhan lives in the United States.
Here we go.
So,
if you're a Canucks or Flames fan, you're probably ecstatic right now, as you should be. That has to hurt far more than a sweep would have. The idea of a Canada's team, and he says hashtag in a North American league, is pure nonsense.
Woo!
Happy for Luongo that he'll get a much-deserved ring, blah, 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 Maurice and OEL too. That said, Conn McDavid is a champion, period. He's the most talented player in the history of the game, in my opinion. I do hope he gets his ring someday. It will be a tragedy for it to never happen. The fact that some marginal player that's a healthy scratch gets his name on the cup and gets to call themselves a champion 97 doesn't is unfortunate, but that's how it works. Blah, blah, blah. Beyond that, it would have been nice for the 30-yard drought to have ended.
How many tweets does he have? This is all one tweet?
This is all one. Well, he's checkmarked.
You would have had to, but you would have had to click like expand more.
Is that what happens?
Horrible idea, Farhan.
But I do, look, again, if the Leafs are in that situation, like, come on.
If the
That whole
Leafs
Canadiana
would have
thing-
lost the Stanley Cup final yesterday, I'd be laughing this
You
morning.
want to be the one to deliver it, but you don't want to see somebody else do it. Not that does your sleep change if the Ottawa Senators are bringing the cup back to Canada? I don't think so. And we've gone over this rant before. But I thought Far End Steak was pretty good. Trolls will troll. They're in the nasty chat. They're all over the place. That's what it is. And look, we'd be doing it too if the shoe was on the other foot. But it's not. But the Oilers right now, I mean, prime position for the next Canadian team to do it still after coming up short in Game 7. This is still the nation's hope. Boston Pizza, the whole bit. They'll be on this train again.
The 30,000 and
well, this is.
I'm already saying it. I'm going to call it right now before anybody else makes it. Edmonton Sports Talk are going to make shirts that say "unfinished business." That's it. It's going to be an EST shirt. Matty Wannick, if you're listening right now, let's get the order done. We'll order 500 of them and we'll sell them next year. Unfinished business. That's it.
Yes,
that's where it sits right now.
And it's this market. You know. The Oilers are concerned about bringing the cup back to Edmonton, not to Canada or any of this other crap. I hate it. I don't like having. You know. Oh, I'm a Leafs fan, but no, that's bad. The Drake thing, right? Like Drake put money on this. We're not even talking about Drake.
Enough with Drake.
But enough with all of it. Drake. Enough with all of it. None of that.
First, Drake gets killed by Kendrick Lamar. Now he gets killed by a horrible bet, right, Zach? Is that right? Is that what I'm talking about?
That's exactly what happened. You are 100% right.
Kendrick
Drake curse
Lamar
lives on.
had all the stars on the stage in LA. I'm on TikTok, man. I see everything that's going on.
But enough with this.
Drake is a poser. It's that simple.
Enough with this crap.
Always has been.
We don't need the OVO. We don't need Leafs band. We don't need people from. I get it. There's Oiler fans dotted all over this country, coast to coast to coast. Oilers fans, not the rest. Don't need them. Don't want them.
Boom. Right there. That's confessions for Spectrum Rental. Oh, Mike, we didn't even do our confessions. Did you have a confession?
Yes. Well, my wife, who big Oilers fan from the heart, and she's not a sports person. She usually leaves the room or the house when I'm watching sports.
Yeah.
She said, I said, well, what's for supper tonight? Game 7. I said, I'll fire up the barbecue. We'll get going.
That's
Anything
very
you
nice
want.
of you.
She goes, let's rewind to Game 6. We had hot dogs.
So you went back to the same thing.
So I
as
said,
before.
I'll do that for you. I've had hot dogs for like 5 days straight. I said, I'll do it for
That's
6
really
days
nice.
in a row. But what I did do is I went out and purchased the wrong bagged salad.
Oh, no.
We had the taco salad kit, Game 6. I went out and purchased a more of a ranch dressing.
The Mexican Fiesta or
something like that.
Oh, buddy.
So I didn't exactly.
So it's on you, really.
I lost the. I know everybody wants to blame Stuart Skinner this morning, but I'm your skin daddy. I picked the wrong bag salad.
Tough luck. Here's my confession. I'm just learning PowerPoint, and I love it. I love it. I want to tell the whole world. Like, I should have been using PowerPoint for presentations for years. This is a very convenient program. It's unbelievable. I can see why PowerPoint has really become big in the business world. Being a business guy now myself, just starting to dabble in the PowerPoint. You don't know, like, I don't want to get too carried away, but I feel like PowerPoint presentations are going to take Edmonton Sports Talk to the moon. Like, it's going to be great.
There might be a few shows this summer where we just do a PowerPoint for the.
We could do a PowerPoint presentation on the show. Zach, come tell me about PowerPoint. What do you think about my...
Well, now is this PowerPoint or Google presentation?
Nope, it's just
straight
plain old
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint.
Because I've done the presentation side of things, but PowerPoint, it's gonna it's a game changer for EST meetings.
I know.
Even the meetings are gonna be good. This is wow. I'm looking forward to the presentations. I think Trev's got the next one too. Does he not? We're doing that.
Trev is supposed to have the next presentation on like relaunch of graphics for,
He's on the clock.
for September.
He's on the clock.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I hope he uses PowerPoint for his presentation. I'm going to start doing hilarious presentations in PowerPoint. I've never I don't know if PowerPoint wasn't a thing at the end of like high school for me, but nobody ever taught me PowerPoint. And then this is going to be really super nerdy, but then I kind of learned like HTML. And I just started like designing websites on my own.
Yeah.
So I like that. And then I've always just used like Word docs or Photoshop for everything.
You were kind of on the cusp.
So I've never got into Photoshop, but we're expanding our sales staff here. And one of the guys that we brought in to do sales was like, man, you should convert sales packages to PowerPoint and not Word docs. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. But my God, the convenience of PowerPoint. It's
I'm
amazing.
sad you never had the experience of a school PowerPoint presentation.
I know, I never have.
Right?
It was so good. It was
never
great.
made a PowerPoint
So much
presentation my entire life.
So much fun.
What?
You know what I'm going to do? You know what we should do? This is why summer's so great around here. On a Tombstone Tuesday at some point, I'm going to do a Tombstone PowerPoint presentation that we can put right on this TV, and then I can sit there and be like, okay, let's go to the next slide. Boom, PowerPoint presentation. Or if we want to talk about like my plan for free agency, PowerPoint presentation right onto the TV.
That's actually a fantastic idea. I can't wait until your PowerPoint presentation on how LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan.
Oh, I don't need PowerPoint for that. I just need to point out the fact that Jordan had a stat guy backing up all of his stats and cooking the books in 1988 now. So save that for the offseason.
I don't know about it. We'll get into that.
You don't know about it? You got to go online and read that article.
I think
I'll
this
see the
comes to
PowerPoint.
the point in getting Tammy over the line for the hoop. You've
the
already
PowerPoint
got her,
presentation.
but I think a PowerPoint.
May I suggest to you? Oh, that's great.
I know you're warming up to the
My
idea,
whole life is
but
changing.
Please join me in the living room, won't you, for a half
John,
an hour?
I'm sitting here today saying the Edmonton Oilers are going to win the Stanley Cup in 2025, making an official prediction. How am I supposed to actually prove that without a proper PowerPoint presentation? Like that's going to happen. That's going to happen. I loved Remmo says PowerPoint came out on April 20th, 1987.
Yeah, 420, baby. No, but it's grown. The initial 87 launch wasn't. I mean, we hit in the early aughts. That was when PowerPoint took off, right? Like,
it really blew up. That's it. We're done. We did a Mickey a Birdie
Matty?
Booze.
Matty.
Matt, sorry. Birdie Booze TV. Birdie Booze are gone.
what a tease! I
Oh,
didn't.
man, so good. Yeah. You know, I'll just throw this out to Schmitty from Strathcona Spirits. The fact that we don't have 2 6s here, pretty disappointing right now.
Yes. We didn't
Probably
know we'd
a good
need them
idea,
for a
too.
Game 7 after, but yeah, you're right.
All right, 780-218-9999. Tell me about PowerPoint. I got, there's a... See, look at this one.
The wrench is in the chat as well. I just want to...
Tommy the Wrench. I hope to sweet baby Jesus you don't start doing TED Talks next. Oh, you calm down, buddy.
His first message was PowerPoint, all caps, with a question
PowerPoint.
exclamation.
I love it. Dusty, PowerPoint can be used for fantasy drafts, so you can use bar charts to decide who to pick. What? I don't know anything about bar charts yet. I haven't done graphs. I haven't done any of this yet. I'm just getting started.
Wait to hear about wingdings.
What is that? Is that what?
I'm not sure what the wingding is.
Is that like a link or something?
Well, no.
How about the transitions? That's a thing.
I haven't even put a transition in
Oh,
yet.
Wingdings, man.
I'm just mostly using these to print off or send to people.
It's a type of font where it's all just symbols and.
Oh yeah. Why didn't you say wingdings? They've got wingdings in Word too. I would have known that. All right, let's get the show back on track here. The Edmonton Oilers. We'll always remember that the day after the Edmonton Oilers lost the Stanley Cup, I predicted them to win the next cup. We drank a Mickey a Birdie Booze in the 7 o'clock hour.
Get yourself a little bit of that.
And I'm learning about PowerPoint.
Strathcona Spirits.
Which is really good. All right, the Nielsen Show is presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Go visit them, South Fort Chev, 10109 89th Ave, or hop on their website, www.southfortchev.com. Go see Daniel and his team down South Fort Chev. Tell them we sent you. And not only will they take good care of you, but you are also going to get 15% off accessories for your new ride. Hello. Sounds pretty nice. If you're looking for a job, Claiborne Services, they want you. Joaquin Gage is going to join us around 8:30 today. If you'd like to play kind of easy trivia right now, we've got a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. Just text Zacticum, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. People are just stunned by my confession about PowerPoint, but I've just never used it. It's so convenient. The shapes and everything, it's just, God, I love it.
How the graphics appear, you can choose how they appear.
But I'm not even kidding. I've been designing those graphics in Photoshop for years, as opposed to just popping into PowerPoint and being like, bloop, bloop, boom, boom, boom.
You've arrived. Hey,
you thought EST was good now. Give me 6 months in PowerPoint, man. We'll be on FM. Bear will be gone. We'll be on 100.3 EST, which would be great. That'd be amazing.
100.3 EST?
Yeah. I think it would work. All right, if you want to play kind of easy trivia right now, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Let Zach know. 3 questions too many coming up. Gager's going to be by around 8:30 today as well. We got the wrap for William Huff and more of your reaction to the Edmonton Oilers dropping Game 7. A tight one, but they couldn't get it done last night against the Panthers. Let's get to a sports update right now with LTE.
Matthias Janmark, the lone goal for the Oilers as Edmonton come up just short in Game 7, falling 2-1 to the Panthers down in Florida. In their Stanley Cup quest, Carter Verhaeghe and Sam Reinhart, the scorers for Florida. Connor McDavid, though, named winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy, becoming just the 6th player to win it after losing the Cup final. Next up, the NHL Draft, which will begin Friday from Vegas. The Oilers currently holding the 64th overall pick. Also last night, the Bruins trading Linus Ullmark to the Senators in exchange for the Sens' 2024 first forward Mark Kastelich and goaltender Jonas Korpisalo. On the diamond, the Edmonton Riverhawks are back home. They'll kick off a 3-game set with the Bellingham Bells tonight from Remax Field. It's a game you can hear live on Edmonton Sports Talk. Al Coates has the call. Coverage starts 7:05. The Hawks have won 4 straight and sit just a half game back of the division lead. Edmonton prospects are also back home. They'll host the Weyburn Beavers tonight from Centennial Park, Field 9 out in Sherwood Park. Jays, meanwhile, they drop the opener to the Red Sox down in Boston 7-6. Game 2 of that 3-game set goes later tonight as Toronto look to avoid their 8th straight loss. On the pitch, Canada continue group stage play at the Copa America as they're in Kansas City to take on Peru tonight. Canada dropping the opener to Argentina 2-0 on Sunday. Chile will face Argentina at 7 in the other group match. And the 2024 UEFA Euro group stage action continues today with 4 matches. Action begins at 10 with Netherlands taking on Austria while France battle Poland. At 1 o'clock this afternoon, England up against Slovenia while Serbia take on Denmark. Take your career to the next level with Claiborne Services. They're hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind knowing they are an industry leader in safety. Visit www.claiborneservices.com or make it easy and give Jeff a call, 780-910-6728.
I'm your huckleberry. Oh, dude. I'm your huckleberry. Oh, dude.
Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
Oh, dude.
No! No!
Oh, dude. That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me. I'm your huckleberry. Oh, dude. I'm your huckleberry.
You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Oh, dude.
Oh, it's the remix everybody needed today. Tombstone Tuesday with a little Creed Higher mixed in there. I'm very excited to see what happens in the offseason with music because we had so many people who are very talented start to hit us up with just Oilers song in the playoffs. Now let's bang out some Nielsen Show songs.
Yeah.
Right, let's take this thing to the next level.
Well, we also got home run songs to play as well for the...
Well, let's not get started on those guys. My God. There'll be a Blue Jays rant coming down the pipe here at some point.
Maybe just repurpose them into Riverhawks home run songs and go
that's
on
not
from there,
a bad idea.
They are cooking right now.
That's definitely something that we could do. Riverhawks in action, of course, on Edmonton Sports Talk. Almost every single game the entire season. Gager's going to be by coming up just after 8:30 for Pro-Am Sports. We will get to 3 questions too many as well. Your thoughts on last night. How did you handle it? At what point did you know it wasn't going to be their night? And are you with me in thinking that they're going to win the Stanley Cup next season?
And if not, please give an answer. Because I struggle to find out who
You're
else.
saying if not the Oilers, then who?
But really,
that's a fair point.
Really, like what other storyline is there? And we got to the Final Four, and you could. Yeah, you mentioned the Stars. I get that. Maybe the Rangers. I get too. But as far as storylines going, this is the hot one right now. The cameras will roll through the offseason. And much like the Panthers, this will continue.
Let me give you the betting odds, actually. We talked about the Panthers-Oilers at coolbet.com, but you said who, right? If not the Oilers, then who next year? Here are the top 10 teams, betting odds, Stanley Cup win next year, according to our exclusive betting partners at Coolbet. Panthers, plus 650. Oilers, plus 700.
And the Panthers, like, again, I know
they're not going back to back.
They've done it. They climbed the hill.
Yeah, they'll be gassed out. They went the year before.
Yeah.
They're not going to 3 straight Cup finals and winning again. It's just Feed the Oilers the Panthers in next year's final.
Sure.
100%.
At your peril, NHL.
Dallas Stars at 9-1. New York Rangers at 11-1. Carolina Hurricanes, where they always are, at 12-1. Colorado Avalanche at 13-1. And then in hilarious fashion, the Toronto Maple Leafs at 18-1.
Hello, entering the chat.
Which is wild. The Golden Knights at 18-1. And then the Devils at 19-1. And I guess they're expecting the Canucks to PDO their way to another lucky season at 20-1.
How many Western Conference teams did you mention there? You got the Stars.
Stars.
Avs. Okay,
Avs,
I get that.
Knights, and then the Canucks.
The Avs fell into a bit of trouble in the room, I guess you could say, during this Cup playoff. Like they were cruising for a bit, but they too have climbed the mountain.
Yeah.
The Golden Knights have climbed the mountain. Outside of the Dallas Stars in the Western Conference, this is the team to beat right now.
I think the Oilers are going to be an absolute wagon next year from start
As
to
they
finish.
should. And you think this doesn't galvanize them? Even that, if they didn't need any more galvanizing? Draisaitl was asked about hunger.
I'm feeling really good about my prediction.
As you should. And today's the day to do it.
I am.
This is the day to do it. Off season, what off season? Don't
Exactly.
exist. Season starts now.
All right, who is playing kind of easy trivia today?
Cole from Ellerslie.
Cole from Ellerslie. What a beauty this guy is.
He'll get us back
I
going.
love this guy. If anybody's going to get this offseason on track right, it's Cole from Ellerslie playing kind of easy trivia, brought to you by Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever in the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th Ave and Mark Messier Trail. They got the 6 o'clocker lager in the house. Let's go to Cole in Ellerslie. Cole, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
What's up?
What's up, Cole? So you're handling last night okay then, hey?
Yeah, it is what it is.
Hey, thank you, Cole. Tweet it. It is
It
what
is
it is.
what it is.
Cole and Ellerslie. I
love
think
it.
that's great. All right, let's get a dub this morning, though. That's important for the show. Let's get, I'll start the ticker after read the first question. If you get 3 of 5 correct, you're going to Mr. Mike's, all right?
Sounds good.
All right, here we go. Did the Vancouver Canucks make the Cup final this year?
No.
Did the Flames make the Cup final this year?
No.
Did the Sens make the...
No.
Oh, he's got it! Look at this!
No! No! God. Damn it, Shake, stop it!
They are going to remember that AM radio is a viable and modern source for news and entertainment. Totally. People don't listen to AM like they used to. Seems like it's more about FM and color TV. That's stupid. It sure is, Kevin.
I'm stoked. You stoked?
I'm stoked.
Just
I'm
so stoked.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Holy smokes, Cole in Ellerslie. He knew it. He knew where I was going. Now, that's not Bob the Goat record.
Well, no, because it wasn't the...
Bob the Goat was like,
and it was
whatever
a
it was,
5,
3 point something. Like, did the Canucks make the Cup final? No. Did the Flames make the Cup final? No. Did the Sens make the Cup final? No. Did the Jets make the Cup final? No. Did the Leafs make the Cup final? No. So he nailed it, though. It's pretty impressive. He's
And a
off
beauty,
to Mr.
and a
Mike's.
beauty at that as well.
Cole in Ellerslie is a beauty. He was the guy who wanted to get like 8 hats, right?
I want to call that grief.
Yeah, he was all over Awanak at Hudson's one night.
Always
being like,
points in my book, Cole.
You know what? A great memory from the Stanley Cup run.
Actually, you know what? It seems like, well, it was months ago, but
that was
very
Cup run.
long.
That was in the playoffs.
I remember game 1 against the Kings, walking to West Edmonton Mall, Bourbon Street, and saying to myself, I'm going to be eating a lot of chicken over the next couple months. And I did. But Hudson's as well for the pre and post, both White and the Bourbon Street locations.
Great times.
A lot of great memories made there. A lot of good evenings and afternoons and whatnot. So, yeah. We said, too, before last night's puck drop, touch grass. Just realize that this is and you said in your questions, Flames weren't there.
None of these teams
None
were
of these
there.
teams were there. These are memories you make.
And none of them have a better chance to win the Stanley Cup
Absolutely.
than the Oilers do heading into next season. So
this isn't one of those things where you lose and it gets blown up, like the end
No.
of days, the contracts are going to...
that's the end of the window.
No.
Be proud of your team today. Be proud of your city. I didn't even see anything nasty downtown last night. Like, I know before the game they were trying to push their way into the mosh pit and they had to calm things down a bit. But I didn't see anything... Was there anything bad that happened last
Because
night?
I think, and it goes to that too, knowing that it's not over. This is just another step in this process. But frustrating as it is, it's not the end of this window. And I think that's Oilers fans can kind of tuck it, whether they want to admit it or not this morning. You tuck it into your hip pocket, as you've done this morning. You put out the prediction. And this offseason is not going to, this is going to be the shortest offseason of off-seasons of modern history for this club, at least in this window.
Get people healthy. Keep who you need to keep.
New management.
Trade who you need to trade.
Holland's out for all of you detractors. Like, this is a breath of fresh air. You're opening a few windows.
Overseeing the draft.
Sure,
but free agency decisions will likely be made by somebody else.
Draft, hey? We're not even talking.
Well,
who cares about the draft, right?
When you're only picking late in the second and then like 5th, 6th, and 7th, who cares?
But that's a good spot to be in when we're not. Again,
I want to see
focus
them,
back on the cup.
I'll say from draft talk perspective, I want to see them package the second with something to move the Campbell contract.
Boom. Now we're going.
What do you think about that this morning? Hey?
Want me to tweet it?
Zach, who is full of hot takes today?
You are. It's not even Thursday.
I know. Well, I'm not going to be here Thursday.
That's true. You gotta take them out.
I gotta get rid of all of them today. DEL says, "Hey Dusty, glad you're satisfied with the cup appearance. Hey, listen, man, 30 other teams didn't make the Stanley Cup final. So yeah, it's nice to see the Oilers and this city get to go on a run to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final and be this close, literally this close, to completing the greatest Stanley Cup championship in history. They will learn from it. They will come back, and they will." I saw somebody yesterday. And I retweeted it because I know it'll just drive people nuts. But it said 24-25 McDavid, and it was LeBron in Miami with that look after he lost to the Mavs his first time in the final. This is the greatest player in the history of the game.
And what did he do first time?
He lost two
there
finals.
You go, lost two.
Now his team was an underdog heavily in one of them because he drug a bunch of scrubs to the final. But still, I mean, that's what McDavid's going to be like. If you think McDavid was great this year, wait until you see McDavid with a Stanley Cup defeat deep down inside his belly.
And we have had way worse mornings to end a season than this. I know, Game 7 Stanley Cup, but rewind a bit over the past decade.
So many seasons were done.
Give me a
break.
Like
late February. This is June 25th. They lost in a really tight game in the Stanley Cup final. This is all a step in the right direction. And all the negative now, last night, man, we saw people bail on the team in round 2. We saw people bail. And don't tell me you didn't.
Beginning of the season. I mean, you can chart this puppy.
The way the thing started, but I have a hard time with everybody who's like, I love this team. Also, they're dead. They're done. They're never going to be back here again. Like, what are we doing here? You should be sad today. They came this close to a Stanley Cup final and weren't able to get it done. You should be sad. You should be mad. You should be whatever emotion you need to be feeling today.
I'd question if you weren't.
Some of you might just be exhausted. Like, this was a really long, tough run. Some of you might just be like, I got nothing left in the tank, which is totally understandable. But, I mean, if you don't think that they're capable of being back there next year, I don't know what you just watched for the last 8 months.
Trev 15. Hey, boys, heartbreaking loss, but I'm with you, Dusty. Just dropped a cool $50 in Oilers to win 2025. Let's go. Sierra Riverhawks game Thursday. Chins up Edmonton. This team has arrived.
There you go.
Trev 15. Now, that's the text.
You got the Riverhawks. You got the Stingers.
Hang
you
it
got
in
the Elks.
Louvre or whatever, right?
Hang it in the Louvre. 100%.
And the Stingers are clipping. The Hawks are clipping right now. The Elks are playing great football, albeit the record. But all of that stuff will just cushion you until, again, I mean, they're going to be on the bikes with the tubes in their mouths faster than you can say.
Tubes and mouths.
You got it.
780-218-9999. We are almost to 400 likes today, which is pretty good. If you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. Nielsen Show presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet.
Do it for the Conn Smythe winner.
He wouldn't want you to, but you can. Right? You can show support. Let's get to 3 questions too many today. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment?
3 questions too many, brought to you by that great staff at Park Mazda. How about that Canada-Peru game tonight? Park Mazda, your dealer for life.
Hey, how come that thing? Oh, I was looking at Euro. What's the play on that one from a Cool Bet hotline of the day?
Couldn't tell you there, but Canada should be good in this one. The
Okay,
thing is,
so you think they should win?
The thing is, Peru and Chile, albeit ranked maybe a few spots ahead of Canada, but I don't throw those out the window. You get Argentina out of the way in that opening match, you lose by just 2 goals. Peru, Chile, they should have these. Looking for a win. If they capitalize, at least a chance.
Canada plus 124 to win tonight. Let's make it a double cool bet hotline of the day.
Let's go.
Canada to beat Peru tonight at Copa 2024 plus 124. Got to ride with the Canadians there. I like that one. All right, Eric, do you have a Twitter account?
At Lieutenant_Eric. You can follow on Twitter, where I've been just tweeting quotes this morning. Also, I retweeted your retweet of Greg Wyshynski. The shout out to Jim Matheson for going the Homer ballot way, which was kind of interesting. Nice to see everybody's voting on there as well. I did tweet out also, not a quote, but what's winning without losing, right?
Bingo. It doesn't mean as much.
It's maybe a cliche, but Brian Swain also tweeting the last 8 times the Stanley Cup final went to 7 games. Neither team made it back to the final the following year.
Oh, no, Swainer.
Says a lot about how much it takes a team, but he makes a good point. I mean, it's not a given. Much like last night, none of this is a given. We can say here and we can sit here and we can say, okay, the Oilers team is positioned and all that. They do need to go out and take it. But again, are you betting against them not to have that fire and not to go out and take it when the opportunity is there? They're good at bucking the trends, and I would see them bucking this Swain tweet trend as well.
I'm not changing my prediction because of Swainer's tweet. I'm already locked in.
And a nice tweet from Tom Gazzola as well about 8 hours ago. I want to send a massive thank you to everyone who listened, watched, and joined the conversation on the Oilers stream pre- and post-game shows throughout the season. GCL Diesel, Damon Bunting, and Hudson's as well, Christopher Boyle. And thank you to Tom as well, heading out to Hudson's for those games and everything throughout the season. Real fun time, so...
It was a good time at Hudson's this year. We had a lot of fun.
Took it to the limit.
Shout out to Hudson's for hopping on board with us as well. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up. You can text us, of course, anytime. In the Paris Jewelers inbox this morning, we're coming at from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studios as well. And boy, the nasty chat's a wild place today. The inbox is cruising along as well. We will get to a few more of your text messages as we work our way through the show. But let's get into 3 questions too many. Question number 1, at what point last night, well, we were already asking everybody this, but for us, I guess, at what point last night did you know that they just didn't have it? What was the point? What was the moment last night where you're like, they're not winning?
When Florida scored the opener, I turned to my wife and said, it's good. I think I said this earlier on the show. For those that missed it, it was imperative that Panthers got that first goal to keep it a game. If the Oilers would have scored, I think Oilers tied it up. I think that Reinhart goal again, to me, at the time that it happened, near the end of the second, they get to the intermission. We hear all the stats about when you have an opportunity to lock things down and you're 20 minutes away from winning a cup. Again, we're talking a lot of Oilers here as we should, but the Panthers were another team in this series as well, and they wanted the cup too. When you're up 2-1 heading into the final frame, you're going to do everything you can to hold on to it. And for an Oilers team, which again we've been talking about injuries and attrition, just didn't have enough to get it over the line from the top guns. That was the story last night. We talked about these 2 jalopies and both teams trying to will them over the finish line. I think Florida getting that second at the time they did and heading into the third, it was just a bridge too far for the Oilers to cross, which is kind of weird. Again, you're a 2-1 final in Game 7 in the Stanley Cup, and you're telling me this Oilers team with the offense that it possesses can't get it over the line, but that's how it was. I think you can point out as well that Bobrovsky's mad scrambled, to which we ddidn't have the overhead cam. I mean, a certain point
I think
that the
that's
night's
one
going
for
in
me,
a direction where it's like, this isn't happening.
Like, you saw Bouchard hit a post. You saw Bouchard on a one-timer get stopped by Bobrovsky. It was right along the ice.
Post 2.
Saw Draisaitl have the one-timer on the power play, didn't bury it. There's all these moments. I saw some people text in and say, wow, they were flat in the first 10 minutes. I knew it wasn't their night. But that was still a 1-1 game after. To me, it was. I still had a good. I tweeted it after the first 40 minutes that with the way this season has gone, and Oilers' third period comeback is the most fitting way for this thing to finish.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they couldn't find it. I think I have to go beyond that final 90 seconds that I hated because they didn't do anything.
But that might.
I got to go to the scramble. It's the only moment all night that brought me up out of my seat was that mad scramble at the side of the net, where. What was that? Which one was it where McDavid got the puck alone in front, went forehand, got knocked away? I think it all might have been the same play. And then Bobrovsky stretched out.
Yes, that was the one.
It was
with
just,
the no overhead cam.
I could not believe that puck didn't go in.
If it's not going in there.
If it didn't go in there, you're starting to, I'm like, oh.
But you
I
mentioned,
don't know if it's happening tonight.
Very astute, though. You can't count this team out. And even those final 20, I mean, once it was up against the boards, the time's ticking down. But if any way for this team to get back and win it, I mean, if they score that goal that's tied up, they're going into overtime and probably getting the momentum. I mean, that place would have gone off with Oilers fans.
Yeah. Rams fan texts in today and says, Tommy said he wouldn't be surprised if McDavid needs surgery. Do we know what we're looking at here? We don't technically know what we're looking at, but I would guess it's from somewhere between mid-thigh below the belly button.
Nothing above the belly button. Yeah.
That's probably where that surgery, if it does indeed need to happen, mid-thigh below the belly button. That's what you're looking at. Zach, you got a weird smile looking
Tweet
at me
it
right
out,
now.
Zach.
Well, it sounds eerily familiar. I think I'm smelling a bit of spleen. Is from what
spleen.
you said earlier.
Spleen is also somewhere by the belly button. We learned that earlier. So that's if there is a surgery that's needed, that's the area I would think that it's probably needed in. But we'll see how that sorts itself out. Question number 2. Guys, this is a good question. This is the type of question that will be part of the conversation tomorrow. But I also think it's important to be part of the conversation today. Guys, who or what encouraged you the most about this team during the playoffs this year?
Who or what? The what is always an interesting. Who, I'll go with Skinner.
Yeah,
am I allowed to say that?
Stuart Skinner was almost automatic beyond Game 4 in the playoffs.
And I'll say it because I think in terms of how you started this season and how roster construction was made, I mean, the idea was Campbell. That was the plan. So Skinner took this plan that was never made and kind of made it his. Now you can argue there were certain moments, yeah, perhaps, and such, but I think how this team is constructed going forward offensively, he's a good enough goalie to get you where you need to go. So I think the growth there from him, I think the growth from the leadership core. I've had questions, around this leadership core over the years, and but the only time you get experience is through learning in these situations, and I think over the past couple of series, this one and the Dallas one included, I'm liking what I'm hearing from the leadership core, both in wins and losses. They need to grow. And again, these are all things you hate hearing after the night you lose the championship. But unfortunately, you got to learn these lessons. I think the growth from the leadership core, I think Stuart Skinner, the season he put forward, and you mentioned Team Canada and all that we'll get all to that. But I think how it started in the idea of having Campbell in there, for Stuart Skinner to emerge to how he did, and it's not glistening. It's not 100% perfect. I get that.
Yeah.
But for this team, it should be good enough.
Stuart Skinner is a goalie you can win a Stanley Cup with.
With this team. There are certain teams that maybe you can't.
He's not going to carry the Sharks to a Stanley Cup.
For this team, with the offense that it can possess 9 out of 10 games, sure, he's there. Those are two people, I guess. The what's, I don't know. Ice District was a good showing.
I look at Broberg and Holloway. Those are two guys who were going to have jobs on this team no matter what next year anyway.
And we question depth. We have been over the years.
But
right?
I think you have to be excited about seeing what Broberg and Holloway will be able to bring to this team next year. And maybe Holloway's emergence in the playoffs, I don't know if you'd be able to find a taker for Kane's contract, but I mean, you would feel more comfortable if you're able to move that money with the way Dylan Holloway played. And he played well enough in the playoffs, but he's not getting this huge bump. He's an RFA, I think. But he's not coming in at $3 million. It's going to continue to be congratulations, you get to play in the Oilers full time. We'll see what your next contract is. Philip Broberg's going to have a chance to play full time for them next year. These are significant pieces that have invaluable playoff experience now. That's huge for those guys.
From within the organization, not acquired and scrapped heap from elsewhere.
I think it's good. I think those are the two guys that you have to be very excited about. All right, question number 3. Guys, following up on Dusty's confession about PowerPoint today, do you have any other suggestions on things he should try that were created 20 years ago? Well, I think it's almost 40 years ago for PowerPoint, but what else could I learn, guys? It's weird that I'm just learning PowerPoint now, considering I am pretty advanced technically. I can do websites and edit video, and I've never used PowerPoint before. What else could I get on here? Any suggestions? 780-218-9999. Somebody said, Dusty, wait till you find out about Excel equations and stuff. Wow. I know Excel a little bit, but not very well at all. I'm also not overly excited about becoming a huge nerd and learning Excel.
Do you have a CD player in your truck that you got from?
No, not anymore.
Oh, not anymore?
No, I wish I did. But that's okay. I think I've got all my bases covered. Now that I've started to learn PowerPoint, I don't think there's anything else that I really need to learn now. I think I know pretty much everything. So
just like anything from 40 years ago, like the 90s or whatever.
I would have covered most
early
bases.
Yeah, I think
back then.
I mean,
I think
your style is certainly borrowing from that generation. The cargo short pant, all that bit, right? Like you're
Thank you, Eric.
You're rocking. You're owning it. And that's a.
I do look like a guy.
Compliment, not anything.
I dress like a guy who would be just learning PowerPoint when it first came out.
But,
like
but
going
you
to
should
like
be proficient in it now.
1991 class.
You should be teaching courses now, given the fact that you.
Remo says, wait until you eat butter chicken, Dusty. Actually, I do like butter chicken. I think butter chicken's very good. I don't eat it very often, but does Dusty know about the automatic transmission vehicle? I do. I know about all this
Your
stuff.
truck's not a manual, is it, eh?
I'd always kind of been anti-PowerPoint, to be honest with you. When people are like, "Oh, do PowerPoint," I say, what are the benefits? You know?
What did you tell me? You were learning HTML. You were more of an HTML. You were. Well, everyone was PowerPointing. This guy was designing websites. For crying out loud. Like, yeah, talk about quartering the future here. Eh?
Yeah. I was like HTML in like 95.
Coding.
Like,
you were a coder.
Oh, yeah. But I only did it for fantasy sports purposes.
Some would say time wasted, not you.
Yeah. Fergie's Prostate says, now try seafood, Dusty.
Well, that's...
let's not get too carried away. That sounds like a horrible idea. Probably not going to...
Seafood draft.
Probably not going to do that. Casino Dealer
try
Jay.
actually eating the sunflower seed,
That's a good
Dusty.
one.
Casino Dealer Jay.
If I ever accidentally crack one and the seed comes out, I'll be like, oh, it's good.
They're very good.
I should have been eating the seeds all along instead of just
very delicious.
Sucking them and spitting them out. But that's how it works for me. All right, Gager's locked and loaded. He's going to join us coming up just after 8:30 for Pro-Am Sports. I do want to do this. This could be how you get yourself in the mix for text of the day over the final 30 minutes of the Nielsen Show presented by South Fort Chevrolet. What was McDavid doing last night while they were announcing his Conn Smythe? Legendary wrong answers only. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. What was McDavid doing last night while Gary Bettman was announcing his Conn Smythe? Wrong answers only, but legendary answers is what we're looking for. 780-218-9999. Let's get to a sports update. Big Mama's and Papa's Pizzeria. If you want to eat your feelings today, 54-incher. It's a thing. Big Mama's and Papa's. Order one of those bad boys. You have enough pizza for the entire offseason. Rick's got more on that coming up with the sports update. Gager for Pro-Am Sports on the other side.
Matthias Janmark, the lone goal scorer as the Oilers fall short in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, 2-1 down in Florida as the Panthers capture the Cup. Connor McDavid named the winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy. The NHL Draft begins Friday from Vegas. The Oilers currently holding the 64th overall pick.
Changing 400
for the Conn Smythe. Bruins also last night trading Linus Ullmark to the Senators. Riverhawks are back on the diamond. They'll start a 3-game set with the Bellingham Bells tonight from Remax Field. It's a game you can catch live on Edmonton Sports Talk. Our coverage begins at 7:05. Hawks have won 4 straight and sit a half game back of the division lead. Prospects also back home. They'll host the Weyburn Beavers tonight from Centennial Park Field 9 out in Sherwood Park. The Jays, they'll look to avoid their 8th straight loss tonight. They'll play Game 2 of a 3-game series down in Boston with the Red Sox. On the pitch, Canada continue group stage play at the Copa America this evening as they're out in Kansas City to take on Peru. Kickoff at 4. Chile will take on Argentina in the other group match. That kicks off at 7. UEFA Euros continue today as well. 4 matches on the docket. Action begins at 10. Netherlands take on Austria, while France face Poland. Later this afternoon at 1, it's England and Slovenia, while Denmark face Serbia. Sports Update brought to you by Big Mama's and Papa's Pizzeria. BMPP is a real pizzeria restaurant, not just a delivery pizza chain. Serving authentic Italian cuisine with their made-in-house pizza dough, traditional tomato sauce, and fresh toppings. Each pizza is cooked to perfection. A pizza experience you've been waiting for. Check them out today, 12848 97th Street. Online, www.bmpp.ca, or call 587-746-0550.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.33 on the Nielsen Show as we just get rolling with another day of coverage here on Edmonton Sports Talk. EST does not stop just because the Oilers lost the Stanley Cup. We discuss it. We try to talk you down, calm you down a little bit today, and then we dive into the offseason. And what offseason it will be as the Edmonton Oilers look to fine-tune a roster that was this close to winning a Stanley Cup. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. The text messages this morning are great. We just said, what was McDavid doing as Bettman announced his Conn Smythe win last night? Wrong answers only. Make them legendary. This is a good one. Big Maple. McDavid was getting Leon pumped up for the spec interview by telling him he doesn't get to be his best man unless he gives him at least 4 head shakes, an eye twitch, and 1 German curse word in his response. Collingwood Rob is in and says Connor was canceling the order for the custom wedding goblets that look like the Stanley Cup. Oh my God, that would have been a legendary move at the wedding. Everybody's drinking out of mini Stanley Cup goblets. That would have been outstanding. And this is a good one. Tyler in Terwilliger. He was in the locker room not giving a hoot, but giving 2, which works out very well. That's an excellent 2 hoots line. So keep your text messages rolling in. We got some contenders for the A&W text of the day in the Paris Jewelers inbox this morning. All right, do we have Joaquin Gage? Is Gager kicking around?
Yes, he's in the bullpen right now.
Let's go to Gager for Pro-Am Sports, where you can stay tuned for the details on the granddaddy of all sales in July. Watch at proamsports.ca for that. They will be sewing on final patches on the jerseys all summer long, and the crew over at Pro-Am is thanking all of you AM Nasties out there for the incredible support. Gager, thought we'd be talking about a Stanley Cup championship. We are not. What didn't happen last night that needed to happen for them to win that hockey game?
Well, I didn't finish my PowerPoint presentation on insured annuities. Just finishing that up now.
Do you use PowerPoint a lot, Gage, or what?
Yeah, I do.
It's pretty awesome, right? Like, it's pretty cool.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Just nerding out. That Excel spreadsheets. Yeah, I'm good in the sheets over here. No, I enjoy the transitions and put together the little videos and stuff. Actually, I get Kent Tilley at K4 looks forward to some of my presentations.
Yeah, because you can put a video into a PowerPoint presentation, right?
Oh yeah, there's.
I haven't done that yet, but it seems amazing. Yeah. Like,
you know what? When I'm in next, I mean, you're gone. Usually when I'm
going to be gone. Yeah.
You're going to be gone forever. But well, I'll show you some of my chops. They're pretty good.
Good. I like that. Anyway, about the game.
Yeah,
what happened there, right?
Oh man. I mean, I think Connor said it best. It's very difficult not only to beat a great team like the Panthers 4 times, any team in the NHL. I mean, if you're going up against the same team 4 times, very difficult to beat them 4 straight. It was a miraculous job to get this thing to Game 7. I was optimistic but that first period. It looked like the Panthers just had that little bit more in the tank. That first period, just very physical, kind of wearing the Oilers down. And by the end of it, I mean, I said in the text line, it just looked like they were all out of gas.
Well, I would agree with you on that first period. I know they come out of it even, but it looked like a Panthers dictated period, right? Is that not what it kind of looked like last night?
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's what I saw. And it was fine. I didn't expect any less after losing 3 straight. You would assume the team going home would have a really solid first 20 minutes. But the fact that the Oilers responded after that goal and got a great pass from Cece and Janmark with an unbelievable tuck at the end, I thought that might give them a little bit more juice in the second period, especially at the long change, but not a lot of consistent offensive zone time that maybe you could get like back-to-back lines. I think it only happened once where they got the change in the offensive zone and got it kind of rolling there. But yeah, it's very tough. And I mean, I hate to nitpick this game because how do you do this at this point? You know, it was just again, I just think they ran out of. We can nitpick little bits of the game that could have been better, but what these guys were able to accomplish over the course of this season, I know it doesn't feel like it probably for them right now, but it was an amazing run that this team went through, and you guys have said it numerous times this morning. It's another learning step. Unfortunately, you only learn from your failures. Hopefully they can take something. Well, they'll take a lot from this year, and of course implement it into the structure next year, probably with a PowerPoint presentation.
Well, and nitpick we will, Gage, or you know the market. And a lot of people nitpicking Stuart Skinner this morning on that Reinhardt goal, the short side. You've been the goalie, and we want your thoughts on this. Kulak comes up in this conversation as well, but to your larger point, this is a moment for Skinner in a season 2, which we mentioned. I mean, the plan going into this thing was Campbell. That gets jettisoned. Skinner emerges. We're talking Team Canada, all these things. And if you're heading into Game 7 last night, and I know for you, the Florida Panthers scoring a total of 2 goals, you're probably taking my arm off here. So I just wanted your thoughts as well from a goaltender's point of view on Stuart Skinner, the season it's been. And you talk about these learning moments and really taking this thing to 7 and ultimately falling 2-1. I mean, yeah, they lost the cup, but quite a book of learning for one Stuart Skinner in this process as well.
I said before, I thought that Stuart Skinner had to get to his level of play to the point where you would have to start discussing him for the Conn Smythe. And I know over the whole course of the playoffs you couldn't, but if you look at those last 2 rounds, what he was how he played in elimination games, he was arguably one of the best players for the Edmonton Oilers in the conference final and in this Stanley Cup final. I mean, even in the losses, Stuart Skinner played really, really well. And you go to Game 7, yeah. I mean, nitpicking aside, with a short side goal that he probably should have had, but his team only scored 1. You need a little bit more run support, I think, especially when you look at I think, Dusty, you already said the top 5 guys with 0 points.
With nothing, right?
And nothing. And you look on the other side, who scores for the Florida Panthers, right? You got their big dogs contributing. So, no, what Stuart Skinner has done this year, the progression that he's had, and look, I mean, hockey DB, this kid, he just keeps getting better every level he gets to. He's been an all-star. He was nominated for the Calder. He's way ahead of where he is supposed to be in this depth of the organization from the goaltending. The fact that people are saying that you cannot win with Stuart Skinner, I don't. Well, who do you win with then? I don't know who that goalie is that the Oilers need to get over the hump in the goaltending position, because you were 2 shots away from winning that thing. And you know,
we said this morning, Gage. I think Eric brought it up. Like, if you would have told Oilers fans Stuart Skinner will only allow 2 goals in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, would you take that? 100% of fans would have said yes, because you expect the Edmonton Oilers to score at least 3 goals in that hockey game. You know what I mean? Like, they can win a Stanley Cup with Stuart Skinner. It's pretty obvious now. I don't know how you could have a take that they can't. It doesn't make sense to me. Plus, he's now got this year of experience under his belt.
Yeah.
Like,
this is what you wanted. This is we need an experienced guy. You've got him after 2 years, and not only he's performed at the highest level, like the amount of pressure that he's dealt with, being down 3-0 in the Stanley Cup final, battling back and still giving your team a chance to hoist the cup at the end. Come on, guys. I know everyone's mad and upset, but Edmonton's finally got their goaltender, and his name's Stuart Skinner.
Was there something McDavid and Draisaitl weren't doing last night? And you want to throw Hyman and Nuge in there, that's fine. Or was it something that the Panthers were doing that kept them to the outside or kept them off the board? Because I'm pretty stunned that they went down without those guys doing anything last night.
I thought that they reverted back to the trying to do something special to get the puck past Bob. I really thought that if you watch the Panthers, like as soon as they got the puck on the boards, they were wristing everything to the net with traffic. That first period was really difficult for Stuart Skinner, to track pucks, control rebounds. The same type of pressure just wasn't exerted from the Edmonton Oilers on goalie Bob. I mean, he played well, but it was relatively a pretty easy night. He saw everything, didn't have to really battle through any types of screens or traffic in front. I would have liked to seen them just a little bit more going to the net and not always looking for, that perfect play. Like Leon there was 2 opportunities there, but Leon, usually those are at least a save by the goalie. But for him to whiff from his spot, Dusty, that's another sign. Show me he's really hurt and probably really exhausted as well. He couldn't stop.
Well, that's it. Yeah, there'll be something that comes out, I think, about Leon Draisaitl because he didn't move the needle at all in the Stanley Cup final, and they still took it to 7. Like if Leon Draisaitl is healthy in next year's Stanley Cup final, if they get back, I mean, I would expect a entirely different player. We were asked during 3 questions today, who or what encouraged you the most about this team during the playoffs this year, Gager? And we can dive into individual players. We can dive into the fact that they did win 5 elimination games along the way. What would be the answer to that question for you?
I'm going to take the homer goalie pick, and it's Stuart Skinner. Starting, from the Kings series where he was good to stumbling against the Canucks, but then coming back, winning that series, going up against, hearing the rumblings, oh, he's not better than Ottinger, no way, completely outplays Jake Ottinger in a 7-game series and goes toe-to-toe with goalie Bob at the end. No, it's definitely Stuart Skinner being his sophomore season in the NHL and doing what he's doing. Looking at this roster and the guys that are still under contract, he's one of those integral pieces that allows whoever's going to be general manager of this team moving forward, knowing that your goaltending solidified and able to focus on different areas. I think that suits well for your prediction of these guys rolling it back and getting back to where they were this year.
See, you saw the prediction, right? I'm saying that we win the Stanley Cup 2025. It's already out there. It's there for the taking. We can't let you go without talking a little F1. Max Verstappen winning the Spanish Grand Prix. Lando looked like he was catching him. He was catching him, and then he couldn't end up tracking him down in the end. They don't waste any time. Right to Austria next. Gager, what are your thoughts coming out of Spain and heading into Austria?
Well, it was funny because I think the top 5 after qualifying, that's how it finished, and it moved around, and with the deg of that track, I thought McLaren kind of messed up having Lando go a little longer, right? If he would have pit maybe a lap earlier,
give him the more time to come back and catch him.
Because he was actually losing time trying to extend that pit stop window, and it just didn't work out. Looking forward to this next race. Mercedes looks competitive and kind of a reversal from Montreal, where they gave Lewis the good tires and put George on the hards, and George wasn't able to keep Lewis behind him. And also there's rumblings already with Checo. So Christian Horner's already said we need something more from this guy, because obviously they don't want to lose the constructors here, Dusty. And he's just been ever since. Yeah,
he's got nothing. He's got nothing.
He's signed this 2-year deal and just and is kicked back with the Winnebago in 10th place. So this is we'll see what happens.
It's going to be pretty interesting if by the end of the
race week, man.
Yeah,
it's a race week. Let's be happy.
It's going to be pretty remarkable by the end of the season if Lewis is leaving the better Mercedes car to go to Ferrari.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That'd be kind of funny.
I love the European races. Lots back to back here. It should be fun.
All right, Gage, we'll talk to you on Two Guys and a Goalie, buddy.
Can't wait.
There you go. That is Joaquin Gage. He will join us on Two Guys and a Goalie today, presented by GS Construction. Myself, Cass, and Gage are breaking down everything from the game last night at high noon today right here on EST. The Nielsen Show is presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Go see Daniel and his team at South Fort Chev and tell them that Dusty or anybody from EST sent you. And not only will they take good care of you, you know they're going to do that, they'll also give you 15% off accessories for your new ride. So that you juice this thing up a little bit, right? Mix it up a little bit. Get 15% off the accessories, and you will be laughing.
How about Dylan McShane in the nasty chat? Hey there, sorry for you guys' loss. It seems a lot of teams lately lose a final prior to winning one, so hope that continues. I'm a fan of Vancouver foremost, but been rooting for a cup in Canada.
Wow!
So a nice extension of the hand across the board.
Yeah,
that's nice.
That's pretty impressive. Hey, let's give something away. Let's give away some tickets to the Hlinka Gretzky tournament. I got a 7-game ticket pack available right now for you, and you can hop online and pick these up as well. They've got a bunch of different packages now available. Let me give you the details on this bad boy. So available right now, you can get the Team Canada 3-game pack and the Hlinka Gretzky, August 5th to 10th. The best U18 hockey players in the world, Rogers Place. You can get to 3 Canadian games starting at just $60. $60 to go see the best Canadian hockey players U18 has to offer. You can also get the medal round 4-game pack. Probably going to feature a little Canada in there as well. Starting at just $115 for 4 games in the medal round. So that would be great as well. We have a 7-game pack that we're giving away right now. All you have to do is text Gretzky. Text Gretzky right now to 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Text Gretzky to the Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999. And one of you will get hooked up with a 7-game ticket pack, which is available right now at Ticketmaster.ca. But now available for sale, Team Canada 3-game packs, medal round 4-game packs, Gretzky Hlinka, rolling in to Edmonton in August. I believe I'm on the call with that one with Craig Button, so that should be a fun tournament to broadcast from Rogers Place. Very much looking forward to that one. Text Gretzky right now if you want free hockey tickets. Gretzky to 780-218-9999, and we'll get to the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival after we work our way through the wrap this morning. But let's get into the wrap right now for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, get it done at William Huff. Today, I know last night was tough. And as you wake up this morning, you're feeling a little rough. But if you want to pick yourself up with some great stuff, visit our friends at William Huff. WilliamHuff.com. Eric, what'd you learn on the show today, buddy?
Well, I was just going to say, and the wrapping of the city from William Huff during this cup run in Cup Chase, 10 out of 10 from William Huff. No fluff.
Classic.
Off the cuff.
They're all over the place.
Yeah. What did we learn today? Look, I'm going to, I don't want to paraphrase. I want to read direct quotes here, and I've got them all time-stamped on Twitter. 1 hour ago, you uttered, and I quote, Edmonton Oilers 2025 Stanley Cup Champions. You then follow that up with, I think, ... they cruised through the playoffs. Colin Ellerslie, who took home a big win during Kind Easy Trivia, also said it is what it is. Oilers 2025 Stanley Cup Champions. You have them cruising through the playoffs. And Colin Ellerslie this morning is saying, as old as time, it is what it is, to kind of deal with last night's loss. But, I mean, I think you take last night. We will get through it as you do. The 7 stages of grief, right? The acceptance, all that,
yeah,
blah,
all
blah,
those
blah.
stages.
But tomorrow, and again, it's an off-season. What off-season of extreme shortness? You're running this puppy back. And we've heard it before. Panthers, Golden Knights, all of these teams losing before they win. It just seems like the Oilers are the next one.
They've checked that box
They're
now.
holding. They're waiting in line, holding the number. And somebody on the other side of the counter goes, 69? And Connor will say, yes,
yeah,
I'm 69, and you'll go
Ready
to the
to
counter
go.
and get your cup. That's how this works. Tell me it's not. And again, let us know if it's not them, then who? Good luck with that.
I learned that I got no time for the Stuart Skinner haters today. I've learned that you can take down a bottle of Birdie booze and
Does he even know?
3 quick shots.
Doesn't even know.
Maddie, do you see what we did today? We drank the TV bottle of Birdie Booze. Had to do it.
We had to.
We had to do it. Yeah, we had to do it. We'll get a new one. Nobody will ever know the difference. I'll Indiana Jones that thing. Remember when they put it up and then it goes like this? That's what I'm going to do.
It's quite quiet in there.
That's what I'm going to do. By the way, Will Fraser's here for the hangout today. What a wonderful surprise.
He'll get you down.
What a wonderful surprise.
Yeah.
That's what the city needs today is a dose of Fraser.
Heavy heaping.
After
a
losing
tablespoon.
Game 7
Open
of the
up.
Stanley Cup final. Pretty sure Fraser has some 06 memories there. Yeah,
Daddy's
here. You know somebody? Somebody's got a handle on the nasty chat now. What is it? Fraser's great ass or something like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Have you not seen that? They were in there today.
I can't believe I missed it.
It's legendary stuff. It's outstanding. We'll get to your text of the day, but what do we do for sound of the day today, buddy? We get back to the Cup Run song.
Well,
I already said they're going to win it next year. So
it starts now.
Does it start now? I don't know. I feel like it's too soon. I feel like it hurts.
Is there anything else that we?
That's the thing. I don't know what we're
Derek
supposed to
Brassard
do.
retired yesterday. I know we had a song
we can't
for
do that. If you have any suggestions, we got a little bit of time here. If you have any suggestions for what the sound of the day should be, 780-218-9999.
258.
780-2. I don't have that here either. 780-218-9999. Or hit us up in the nasty chat as well with suggestions. Text of the day today, I've narrowed it down to these. This is what McDavid was doing while Bettman was trying to award him with the Conn Smythe last night. Here are your top 4 contenders for text of the day. He was in the locker room not giving a hoot, but giving 2. Excellent
During
2
the
hoots
Conn
reference.
Smythe, yeah,
That's
I
great.
love it, yeah.
McDavid was getting Leon pumped up for the spec interview by telling him that he doesn't get to be his best man unless he gives him 4 head shakes, an eye twitch, and 1 German curse word in a response. Connor was canceling the order for custom wedding goblets that looked like the Stanley Cup.
Too soon.
McDavid was smashing the floor of the dressing room open to get his case of good hockey sticks that he buried in concrete when he was drafted, which is an excellent John Wick reference.
Long play.
What's your text of the day?
I'm going with the sponsorship of the next show after this one with the 2 hoots.
Yeah, I think that's a great.
I like
it's
you're
a great
fitting in the
tie-in.
sponsor. It's nice. It's got the alcohol component, which I'm sure will aid a lot of you today. Why not?
Tyler Interwilliger.
Tyler
Mark it down.
Interwilliger.
Tyler Interwilliger, you've won text of the day today for A&W. You've got yourself a gift certificate to A&W where they got those 2 juicy mama burgers on right now for $9.99, and they've extended that deal because they know the city needs a pick-me-up today. That's going to be going until mid-July with the 2 juicy mamas for $9.99, which is real nice. All right, sound of the day today.
You saw it. Pipe it up in the nasty chat, eh?
Yeah.
It's hard to ignore it on most days, but...
boy. Man, is that
I don't know.
You know what? That is
I don't
kind
know.
of... I mean, we could hit Pete left a tire fire.
Well...
But they're beyond that now. They're beyond the tire fire now, right? Like, don't need to go there. Cavis repump up song obviously didn't work yesterday.
Nope. We haven't even seen Atif this morning.
No, Atif.
Wheels has been MIA.
Atif's gone. No bounce back speech from Atif.
Nothing,
Very
just
disappointing.
done.
Dallas Aiken's Eyes remix. Your sound of the day.
Yeah.
Eyes. You know what? I saw it in his eyes. Eyes. It's fun to watch his eyes. Eyes. And, he narrowed his eyes. He's been a horse. His eyes narrow. I saw it in his eyes. He loves his eyes. Eyes. It's going in the net. Horse eyes. People were highly critical of his eyes. His eyes narrow.
that is fitting because you know what you saw on Connor McDavid last night? And what you'll see next season on Connor McDavid? Eyes that are still hungry. Eyes that are still hungry for a championship. Darn it.
And who else has that hunger right now? That's that hunger. Their waistbands are like this.
The most talented player in the world has now had a taste of Game 7 Stanley Cup defeat. If you don't think he delivers a Stanley Cup championship to this city and this franchise in the next 1 to 3 years, you're delusional.
What's in his way?
It's happening.
What's in his who or
It's
what
happening.
is in his way?
Congratulations on the Edmonton Oilers for winning the 2025 Stanley Cup.
June 25,
Feeling it in my bones.
24.
That's where I'm feeling it right now. All right, what are you watching tonight, buddy?
Full docket. 4 matches in the UEFA Euro. Action kicking off at 10. Lots to play for still in these final group stage matches as well. Both groups today, Netherlands, Austria, which we featured in the Cool Bet Canada hotline. France and Poland as well at 10. Later this afternoon at 1. England. Always love watching them kind of come unraveled. They take on Slovenia, Denmark, and Serbia. And then later on today at 4 o'clock, Canada and Peru from Kansas City. As group stage action continues from the Copa America, Canada looking to avenge Sunday's 2-0 loss to Argentina and get back on the right track in their group stage down at Copa America. So lots to go on the pitch today. Of course, Riverhawks, they're back home, and they are what they call a wagon right now as well, hosting the Bellingham Bells to kickstart a 3-game set tonight from Remax Field. Weather this morning a little wet. Does look like the forecast, like a chance of showers this afternoon. Might be a pretty nice evening. So maybe make some plans in pencil to get out to the ballpark tonight. Riverhawks and Bells, as the Hawks have won 4 straight. They're half back of the division lead in the North today. So lots of good stuff going on. Prospects as well out Sherwood Park tonight. But Riverhawks back on Edmonton Sports Talk tonight, 7:05. Hawks and Bells from Remax Field. And lots of soccer as well throughout the day. And the Jays, they play too.
So you got the Jays. Cool. Well, I guess we'll have to talk about them at some point.
We do not.
Which is tough. Hey, let's do this. Let's wrap by giving you a chance to get in the mix for that Sunday VIP table. Bert Kreitzer, Whitney Cummings, Great Outdoors Comedy Festival coming to town in July. Hopefully the weather's absolutely outstanding. Everybody's going to have a good time. All you have to do is text in "We Are Laughing." Text "We Are Laughing" right now to 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, and one of you will have a chance to win that VIP table Sunday night. Alley Cat, the exclusive beer sponsor of the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival, and they will have the 6 o'clocker lager in the house, which will be a nice little blow-up for the 6 o'clocker lager. A bunch of non-sports people being like, what is this? And why is it the best damn lager I've ever had in my entire life?
One taste.
That's
One
it.
sip.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. We Are Laughing right now to 780-218-9999. That's going to do it for the show. Hangouts going to be good today. Tommy, Maddie, Fraze, ready to continue to break down Game 7 last night. Should be a really good time. Fraze is the hero the city needs right now.
Thank you very much as well to Strathcona Spirits this morning for
Birdie Booze
powering the Nielsen show.
It was a good little buzz there, and then back to business. Back to business. Speaking of business, Nielsen show. Now presented by Southfort Chevrolet. Go see Daniel and his team at Southfort Chev. Tell them that Dusty or anybody from EST sent you, even Zacticum, and they'll take excellent care of you, and they'll also give you 15% off accessories on your new ride. You might as well go at least check this out, because if you find a vehicle that you like, you're going to be getting the 15% off accessories. So that's a good idea. Southfort Chevrolet, 10109 89th Ave, Fort Sasker. Visit their website, southfortchev.com. Sorry, Oilers fans. I thought they were going to win it last night. Came up a bit short. But they'll get you one at some point here over the next 1 to 3 years. Swear to God, that's going to happen. For Zacticum, YouTube Trev, I'm Dustin Nielsen. Hangout's coming up. Fraser's already laughing over there. That's going to be a good hangout today. Turn on autoplay on YouTube. It'll take you right over. If you're listening on TuneIn, iHeart, or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, all you have to do is you'll get about 3 minutes of Whale and the Wolf, and the hangout will get fired up. Have a great day. Take it easy.
And I'm Lieutenant Eric.